Well, a very good morning and welcome back to Manchester for the Belief Elite National Touch Series Round 2. And what a day we had yesterday. The weather wasn't the greatest, but the players battled through and provided us with 9 fantastic games to get our teeth into. And now we move on to the knockout stages and, of course, those finals later on today. So, our first game of the morning, we'll see Nottingham Hoods taking on Cambridge Hornets in the Elite quarter-final. And we are underway. Nottingham Hoods going from right to left. And we can get these Elite Cup quarter-finals underway. And here they come straight away through the centre, looking to try and get the first tap underway. Going into this near-side corner, trying to get through the touch. And just brought up before the line. So we saw both of these sides in action yesterday on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Cambridge put in a good performance second to last up last night. And we saw Nottingham Hoods as well. So this should be a relatively very tasty game. As Cambridge look to mount their first attack from the back. That's the man Samuel missing. He was in our comms box late last night. Glenn Jones over the halfway, going through the centre. Oh, just couldn't be picked up. Glenn Jones almost just going too quickly. And there is Cola Berman picking it up with Maynard to the left, Glenn Jones to the right. Looking to try and force their first attack over on that far side, trying to bring it in. Just slowing things down. Glenn Jones, I don't think he was quite expecting that pass to come to him. And he opts to go left. And back into Jones, going through the centre. It's put down. Still nice, slow, patient build-up from Cambridge, going from left to right, diving in. Waiting for the referee's confirmation. And no try on this occasion for Cambridge, but a good start nonetheless. Now into the centre, Glenn Jones picking it up, nice pass up, trying to go through, and a sloppy ball, and a turnover in play to Nottingham Hoods. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Chris Wearmouth. How are you doing, Chris? After a day yesterday which battled the elements, it was a good day in all, and we're looking forward to all these knockout games here in Manchester.
Yeah, morning to you, Brad. Morning to everybody watching at home or wherever you are watching on YouTube this morning. Yeah, when the weather was dry yesterday, we had some really good touch, not least from these two teams who had a match that made the thriller in Manila look positively tame in comparison. It was 11-10 to Nottingham yesterday morning at 20-12, just before the rain came down, and was decided only in the last minute with a very late interception touchdown from Will Lupton. So we can expect more of the same. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an early drop-off, to be perfectly honest.
Simon Missing looks to dive in. And again, just brought up before the line. And here they come, Cambridge once again. Simon Missing trying to drive through. Nice layoff. And again, an important touch just before the line.
What we saw yesterday, even in the early stages, was the pitch playing its part in terms of the slipperiness of it, and on that occasion Ryan Atwood overcame those conditions absolutely superbly in the Nottingham defence. That's a really good defensive set there from Nottingham, having to hold out their line for multiple sets of 6.
Yes, if you were watching with us yesterday, you may have noticed that we have changed pitches. It became a bit of a bog, did the original pitch number 1, which is just behind our cameras at the moment, so we've now moved over to a bit of a better surface for these games here on pitch 1, as look to get back underway over the halfway. Samuel Missing just takes a few yards, tries to jink left, but opts to wait for the touch. And now into the centre, here's Maynard. Looking to drive forward, Maynard picks it up once again, looks to his right and finds Behrman. Maynard goes again, looks to jink it wide and goes wide, and good touch just before the line.
And there's one more touch for Cambridge to play. Nottingham's defence very, very patient. You know, they're not. They're not. Well, Cambridge aren't really trying to spread the play a little bit. They're not throwing any trick plays in. They're not putting any. They're not trying to condition Nottingham into expecting what to defend later on. But in terms of the pitch, yeah, it just shows, especially in and around the goal lines, how especially in the rain yesterday, it's just the amount of changing of direction that you get on the goal line just showed by how much the pitch is churned up. In the middle of the pitch, they're fine, relatively speaking. It's really on the goal lines and they're up to about 6 or 7 metres out. Unfortunately, that's also where you need the most amount of traction, which is why we took the decision last night to change.
So Cambridge looking to start from the back in their own half over their own 10 metre, looking to jink left and right. This is a nice little run here going on over the halfway. Maynard picked up by Jones, driving forward over the 10 metre. This is good yardage made up over on that far side for Cambridge, really driving forward. Here is Ollie Maynard into the centre now. And finds Sandler, he goes forward and now back with Maynard, trying to go forward at every opportunity, although the turnover and possession. And Nottingham Hood's defence has been pretty rock solid so far.
It has. What's quite interesting just with Nottingham, over in the far side, the winger is Sadie Meakin, who's from the England Women's Open team. We had her in the commentary box yesterday. Now she plays in more of the playmaking positions for the women, and in the attack, you see her come up a little bit more into Nottingham's midfield as a different option. And then to defend those, that gives her a bit more. She will defend in a slightly different way from the out-and-out wingers that you might see elsewhere. And staying in, and the same thing with Kate Davis-Bavin, who you can see on the far side as well. She's a playmaker for the England Women's Open team, and they'll be able to read the game a little bit differently. I'm not going to say better, but it is just different from the mids and the links.
Well, Nottingham Hood's looking to mount an attack of their own, and it's good build-up play, quick, incisive, and just slowing down a bit, just to wait for the angle, wait for that opportunity to pounce. Will Lupton involved, and now on that far side, good short passing, moving the ball quickly, trying to stretch this Cambridge defence, who are being tested for only the second time really in this first half, and looking to drive forward Nottingham through the middle. Important touch just before the line.
What we saw on the Sunday in Banbury 2 weeks ago was it took a little bit of time for the teams to get into the swing of things, and we're seeing a little bit. I mean, the error rate's been really low, but it's just taken the teams a little bit of time just to get going through their gears. And so I'm not surprised that it's 0-0, but I wouldn't be surprised as well if once the first touchdown goes in, then all of a sudden we'll start seeing a scoring glut.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday a few times where it was low scoring up until about the 10th minute, and then it just exploded into life once the players had warmed up and were ready to go, as the Cambridge looked to start from the back over their own 10 metres. Samuel Missing coming off the subs bench and getting amongst it straight away over the halfway line. Here is Samuel Missing, always just bouncing around like a Duracell bunny is Sam Missing. Always looking to try and create chances for his side. Just a bit of confusion here with the referee just having a chat. Just trying to determine the phase of play.
To be fair to him, Maynard there's a good bit of honesty from him as far as the saying that he was the half, and if you get caught as the half, it's then a turnover. It just happened very, very quickly. It's understandable when it does happen that quickly that the referee might not see, but it was a good bit of acceleration from both Sam Missing and Matt Maynard there, as far as with these conditions, and we've seen that again with Nottingham as they're just going for the line and over the whitewash for the first time. A great covering defence from Lucy Norburn, although Cambridge have conceded a penalty for offside.
Yeah, good tracking back from Cambridge, stopping that first try. It's at the moment we do remain goalless. No points thus far. Nottingham Hood's trying to mount their attack of their own. They've got a fresh set of 6 and looking to try and build on those. These are the opportunities where when the game is tight and you're looking to try and get the first score of the game, these are the best chances. Looking to go out wide. Good covering defence from Cambridge once again. Really defending well, both sides in fact. Nottingham's going through the middle, looking for that pass, trying to spread this Cambridge defence and find the gaps.
Yeah, what we're seeing more from Nottingham than we did from Cambridge in these early stages is moving left and about. You know, and I said earlier on, Sadie Meakin was on the wing the last time she was on the pitch. This time she's at the link position on the left, the number 10. So Nottingham are mixing and matching and trying to make Cambridge guess as to what they're going to be doing.
Looking to dive through. And touch just before the line, and another important touch. Anna Goddard just slightly limping as they managed to get that touch in before the line. Did really well though, as Nottingham still having a lot of possession. It's their spell of the game at the moment. But Cambridge holding strong. Samuel Missing in the middle there once again. Maynard as well holding strong. Having to turn back and start again. Looking to go out wide again. Fantastic covering play and the turnover possession in Cambridge. Even though Nottingham had a really long spell of possession, they hold out well.
Yeah, really good. You know, we saw Nottingham stay really patient in defence, and that was exactly what we saw from Cambridge there, and it's just paying off there as Missing just, I mean, that's a fantastic bit of pace that we've seen just there.
Well, that was a piece of individual brilliance from Samuel Missing. Worth another look on the replay. He just burst from his own half and weaved through 4 or 5 Nottingham Hoods players and just jinked in and out and dived for the line. Oh, what a start. And after all that patient defensive work from Cambridge, they get their just rewards and they get the first strike.
Yeah, I think it was Max Loveridge in defence. He was offside and Missing knew it. And that's why he ran straight at him, is that he hadn't made back the 5 metres, the minimum of 5 metres. And as a result, Missing just went. He couldn't make the touch. He got called through by the referee and exploited the gap to its full. Fantastic score. Great bit of vision from the young England man.
It certainly was, as Nottingham was looking to reply straight away, looking to once again stretch that Cambridge defence, although now it's a turnover in possession and back in favour of Cambridge, and they can start again with Sandler going through the middle. And picked up once again. Maynard looking to try and burst through. Murphy was actually in the middle there, just now making way for Maynard, and he comes off himself and over the halfway. Glenn Jones goes once again, looking for Jones, who was in our commentary box yesterday, and here comes Samuel Missing, score of that first try. It stopped on the line and turnover, but that was really good momentum building up from Cambridge there, and you can see they're just getting in the flow now.
Yeah, they are, and like I said, it took a few minutes for the teams to get into the groove, and we saw Nottingham do that first in terms of the pressure, but Cambridge now, all of a sudden, since scoring, have just upped the intensity completely. Just to go back to the previous one, is that Will Lupton in defence there. He got back the 5, just tracked back with Missing, and as soon as he went past the 5 and got called onside, then he just makes the touch there.
Ryan Atwood in the centre there for the Nottingham Hoods, although now in favour of Cambridge, still in their own half. And looking to go once again, here's Jones. Missing over halfway. Really just getting into a nice steady rhythm, Cambridge, and showing why they're such a good side. They were one of the ones to watch yesterday, had a really good, nice flow to their game. And of course, we're involved in this epic match with the Nottingham Hoods earlier on in yesterday. Turnover in possession though, back in favour of the Nottingham Hoods.
Yeah, what we've seen is it's the 2 Maynard brothers and Missing, the ability even on this stage on a Sunday morning to affect the scoop, to get underneath the ball without losing acceleration, without losing pace, and then to accelerate away. We've just seen that from Nottingham as well, and this is why we want the weather to stay good here in Manchester today, for this precise reason.
Absolutely, we saw the games yesterday that were before the rain came were absolute crackers, and we weren't not saying that the games were bad after the rain came, but the conditions made it really difficult to play the best touch rugby.
Yeah, so what we've seen there is Cambridge coming offside of midfield, and Nottingham couldn't take any advantage from that. But it's still a fantastic position for the Hoods, but they do need to score, I think, before half-time.
So under 6 minutes remaining until the interval, and heading into that period of the game just before half-time where a game can change, momentum can can switch as Nottingham's looking to try and get over the goal line and get back into this game. And starting with a slow attack in the middle and then looking to try to burst forward. Diving for the line. And there was a touch just before.
Lovely bit of defensive play from Matthew Sandlin there for a big guy just getting down to make the touch on the dive.
Absolutely.
Now that's a penalty for late pass. Again, Sandlin making the touch before the pass was made. And then as soon as the ball goes away, then that comes back for a touch and pass or a late pass. Various terminology. I think it's interesting to say that the Nottingham getting back into this game, I think even though there's only a one score difference, is that Cambridge are the side who've got the momentum. They look more dangerous, more clinical when they're getting going forward at the minute. They're just, as we see from Glenn Jones there, you know, they're being able to put some pace going through the middle. And now what they're doing is quite subtle. Nottingham were quite overtly trying to stretch Cambridge left and right, whereas Cambridge are just going through the middle and then just attacking the players as they're offside.
Chance here for Cambridge. And no score, so it does remain only one up for Cambridge. But again, they're just really getting into a nice rhythm of the Hornets, and every time they've got the ball, they're eating up the yard through the middle and really putting the pressure on the Nottingham Hoods defence to stay strong. But the Hoods looking to mount an attack of their own over on that far side, getting over towards their own subs box and bringing on fresh faces. And over the halfway line they go, building up an attack, and this is good yards made up by the Hoods. Lupton trying to go forward, lovely pass. And just at the clinical moment, just couldn't get it right.
And that's what we've seen from Cambridge, from, as I say, from the Maynard boys from Missin, is that, you know, is attacking the player who's offside and forcing them to make a touch, well, encouraging them to make a touch while they're offside. And that's what we saw from Will Lupton in the middle, who's really developing into an outstanding player. He was at the World Cup in the Mixed Open. He's still only a teenager, which makes us all feel extraordinarily old. Not you though, Brad. I mean, you're still very young. You're not that much older than Will, but he's. But
I feel old, even though I'm finishing university. But no, I know exactly what you mean. It's amazing to see all these youth players coming through and playing for England, and it must be great to see the next generation coming through.
Yeah, I was chatting to Ken Pollard, who's been playing for Nottingham Mavericks, their second team, yesterday. We were watching Nottingham's final game of the day, and you know, the majority of this team is 23 and under for the Nottingham Hoods. There's only a couple of players who are over that. Whereas in the Mavericks, their second team, you know, the majority of their players are teenagers. It's like a bunch of teenagers, and appropriate enough today, a couple of dads.
Well, yes, of course. So, yeah, happy Father's Day to anybody watching. And Nottingham's looking to come through the middle once again.
Of course, if there are any fathers watching, you can play in the same team as your son or your daughter and your wife.
It could be an all-family affair. But no, just a chance here for the Hoods in this near side. Just the last pass, just slipping through the fingers. And a good opportunity that was for the Nottingham Hoods.
I say just one of the Nottingham players who's not playing today, Mark Hobson, sorry, Clark Hobson's dad. Clark plays for BBR. He talks about how he got involved in touch, and it was because he was taking Clark all over the place to play. Then he all of a sudden realised that as the dad he could play as well, and he was actually in the Great Britain 50s team at the World Cup as well.
Oh wow, what an amazing story. Well, yes, it's a game for everyone. That is the one thing we're really trying to promote throughout these weekends. Get as many people involved as we can. And just opportunity there for the Hoods, and they're back in it. One apiece.
And that's a really good finish there. We're talking about the Nottingham players attacking the players who are offside. That's happened with two there, Missin and the other defender as well. Both of them offside, both of them get attacked, and Nottingham get the score they really, really wanted.
So just over a minute to go then until the half-time break. So just a reminder, 2 periods of 20 minutes. So 40-minute game in total. And of course, we wait for those klaxons to go to signal the end of a half. And Glenn Jones picking up. Maynard coming through, diving for the line. Oh, just that touch before the line, saving the Hoods from going 2-1 down at the break.
We've seen a great, massive amount of variation and some outstanding defence from both teams. throughout. It's no surprise that it is still just 1-1. I mean, yesterday it finished 11-10 to Nottingham, but they're matching each other blow for blow and very evenly matched. Because Cambridge as well, very young team. Lots of certainly missing 2 Maynard brothers. They're all still in their late teens.
Yeah, young and youthful side and a mix of experience. And here's one of them, Glenn Jones, bursting through, coming from centre to this near side. Norburn just slowing things down a tad. Sandler just waiting for that touch to come. And there is that Claxon. Still obviously waiting for the final phase. Missing a little skip in the air, looking to try and drive forward. And there is the half-time break in our first game of the morning, the Elite Cup quarter-final. And at the moment, it is all square. Nottingham Hoods and Cambridge Hornets, 1 apiece at the break.
So the touch is the equivalent of a tackle in rugby union or rugby league. In touch, we get 6 of them to try and score a touchdown. Scoring a touchdown, you have those 6 touches, and the defence are trying to make all 6 to prevent you from scoring. You can also touch clothing, boots, legs, wherever in order to create that touch. You can have such thing as a hard tackle or a hard touch, which is where you put too much force into the touch. A heavy touch can be made by the attacker or the defender as well. The attacker putting too much force on the initiated touch, or the defender putting too much force into the push of the touch. An attacker can either initiate the touch to stop the defence from making it, or the defence can make the touch themselves. The attacker can make the touch to make a better roll ball and to keep the momentum in the attack.
Can you remember your first England appearance?
I can. It was 2014 Swansea Euros, and I remember the nerves. Actually, it was really nervous, but really exciting running out for the first time in an England jersey. I still get nervous before every game, but I'm just more excited because I know more about the game. I feel more confident in my ability to perform at this level, and I love playing at these things, particularly World Cups. What a privilege! The biggest change is probably the professionalism of the sport in the last 4 years, 6 years since 5 years since my first cap, in terms of how England particularly have taken on their attitude towards the whole development of the elite squad. It's just such a professional outfit now. It's great fun to be part of.
I got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago. Following my wife and both my daughters into it, after they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
Roll ball is the equivalent of a ruck in rugby union or a roll ball in rugby league. What we're looking for is a clear plant of the ball, no rolling of the ball physically despite it being called a roll ball, and we're looking for the clean ball for the half to come in and either scoop or pass the ball off the deck. So a roll ball is done by putting one part of the body over the ball. So there's 2 ways you can make a roll ball. You can either plant the ball and run through, as in over the top of the ball, or you can plant the ball and swing your foot around the front of it, which is called a quickie, to step to one side or the other faster than having to step all the way over the ball. So the roll ball has to be done where you are touched or initiate the touch. It also has to be placed between the legs, not to one side or the other, so that the ref can clearly see that you've either stepped over the ball or you've swung your foot around the front of it. In the roll ball, the hips of the person putting the ball down have to be square. By that they mean they have to be parallel to the pitch, not facing one side or the other.
Well, welcome back to Manchester, the second half of our opening game of Day 2, the Elite Cup quarter-final between Nottingham Hoods and Cambridge Hornets. Nothing to separate them. One apiece at the break. 20 more minutes to go and underway. And here come Cambridge Hornets, who have looked very good in attack. Every time they look to come forward, a nice steady rhythm to their game. Good passing. And looking to get underway in the best possible start in the second half. Here's Samuel Missing in the middle, looking to go right. Looking to drive forward. Here's Missing again, Sandlett to his left and opts to go right instead to Maynard. They stop just on the line.
Lovely little bit of play there from Tamara Slater. Just coming from the link position. And they moved around. You know, they were again, what we didn't see much of in the first half was Cambridge looking to push and pull Nottingham's defence left and right. And straight away we've seen the more experienced players really start to put some more subtleties into the game, into their attack. Nearly came off then as well.
It certainly did, yeah. Cambridge now with the opportunity to put some pressure on this Nottingham Hoods defence. Samuel Missing again in the thick of things and already has a incredibly filthy shirt. And only in the couple of moments he did go for that diving try in the first half. And here comes Matty Maynard looking to try and force an opening. Sandlett now looking to go left and fake the pass and being forced back. Samuel Missing, Sandlett, blue cap on, Missing picks it up once again, looking to try and dive forward. Oh, and just got the touch as he tried to sneak his way through. Nottingham Hoods now needing to build from their own half, and here they come trying to eat at the yards. And 10 metres, Samuel Missing complaining to the referee as they get to some new faces on. Oh, and a loose pass from the Hoods, and now this is a good opportunity for the Hornets.
Yeah, seen a couple of them from Nottingham at the start of the second half. It's just they just need to switch on really quickly. Psychologically, the score just before the break would have given them a good boost, but at the same time it just looks as the half-time break came at exactly the wrong time for them.
And here comes Ollie Maynard leaving off to Glenn Jones. Jones looking to go forward. Picked up. Maynard. Trying to drive through, although a touch just before the line. And here is Maynard. Almost just offering the ball on a plate for Glenn Jones. Didn't pick it up, and now here is Jones looking to go out wide, and the pass is just a bit too high. Those wingers are such a vital part of the game, but the passes have got to be right, especially with the conditions we've had, and the ball almost being like a bar of soap, some of the players were saying yesterday. As the Hoods looking to drive on now, looking to force the initiative, getting towards halfway, look to get new players on and build a attack of their own as they enter into the Cambridge half. For feels like the first time in this half. Feels like a long time since Hoods have had an attacking opportunity like this. Driving towards the line, lovely pickup and down. And a brilliant start for the Hoods in this second half.
That's a classic score. That's got a great bit of touch in it in terms of the scoop and go. Then all of a sudden, there's the link just stands and she knows she's made the mistake. She's all of a sudden been dragged into trying to touch the half, to try and touch the scooper. And all of a sudden, as soon as you step that in, you just created that little half metre of space. And that's a great score from Nottingham. Exactly what they needed. We just said that they hadn't, that they were struggling to get going in the second half, but all of a sudden, just one moment, that's all it takes.
It certainly did. They weathered the storm from Cambridge, and then they hit them with the sucker punch. And now Cambridge looking to try and get back into this one. Samuel Missing doing all he can. Nice little switch, trying to go out wide, bit of space on a fumble. And the opportunity is lost, looking to go out wide.
Yeah, the first time it went wide, it was a really difficult pass to handle, but that one should have really been taken better by Theodorson. I think she'll know that as well. It's but Cambridge just get a let-off as Nottingham just again a fumble. It seems like that try that they've scored is just a bit of a moment. Once say it's a momentary moment of a momentary lapse of brilliance, so to speak, because the rest of their play so far this half has not been the best.
No, they've been a bit sort of lackadaisical in this second half. Almost like they couldn't really believe they'd got that try. Samuel Missing looks to try and dive in. Not again. He's trying to force the initiative, is Samuel Missing for Cambridge.
Yeah, so Max Loveridge is onside there, makes the touch, but Will Lupton was offside and forced Missing out, which is why the penalty's been given.
And a good chance now for Cambridge to try and drive home this advantage as the ball goes loose. Oh, and that's a mistake from the Hornets, a rare one in this second half. And here come the Nottingham Hood. Surely not, they're going to capitalise on a mistake from the Hornets. They haven't, apart from the try, they've hardly been in the second half, and they're really trying to drive forward, and again looking to go over to that far side to bring players on. And every time they're really driving forward, building up a lovely attack. The Hoods going through the middle, looking to try and go out wide. Oh, and just couldn't get on the end of it. That was a really nice move from the Nottingham Hoods, and then forcing that pass out wide.
Yeah, a great bit of skill there as well to scoot the ball up at pace with the ball bobbling on the floor. Normally, when you try and coach and practice at this level, you'll see the ball getting just placed on the floor and somebody stepping over it. And that's to make sure that you can accelerate onto the ball. It makes it an easy target for the player who's coming on to be able to either get it straight off the floor or to be able to scoop, depending on no matter what their, so it basically gives them those options. What we saw there was that ball bobbling about, and it was just a lovely piece of skill.
And here comes Berman trying to drive forward. Nicely picked up. Goddard in the middle of things. Here's Maynard, Jones to the left.
They're jinking left and right there to try and force a deviation from the defender, because once you start going back on a line, you have to keep going back on that line. And what you'll see at this level, and especially if we get to see Wigan again later on, Ben Meek and Jordan Melling, is that they will take 2 or 3 paces and then step off and to try and get the defender to come with them, at which point then they'll have a penalty for the deviation and a fresh set of 6. And you'll see that maybe 15-20 metres out from the line. There's, it's a common tactic, and Cambridge we just see from Maynard just trying to do the same thing, just going a little bit left and a little bit right.
Looking to force it out wide, and again, opportunity gone.
Yeah, Cambridge need to be much more patient in this area. That's the second time they've had a fresh set of 6 within close to the Nottingham line, or actually the third time, I think, and they've just not, they're just not looking to do anything. Well, whatever they're looking to do, they're looking to force it.
Yeah, they've had long spells of the ball in this second half, the majority of the game, and another mistake from the Hoods. And this now is another golden opportunity for Cambridge with a fresh 6, and Sandler in the middle looking to go left or right, and it's picked up by Norburn once again in the thick of things. Slater as well. Norburn dragging herself out wide. Slater again picking up, finding Sandler. He just lays it off.
Yeah, so see, Cambridge have now got a male link on female link, which they're going to try and exploit. It's Sadie Meakin though, so that kind of negates a lot of that when it comes to those type of things that you're trying to get sorted out, because with all of their experience at international level.
Yeah, plenty of internationals and plenty of experience in the competition. Diving forward. Was there a touch? Waiting for the confirmation.
No, that's been confirmed. You saw that by the sideline official, and it's a real shame for that one, because they did all the right things in terms of in defence, but it's a lovely bit of passing play from Cambridge, and well executed on the far side. Again, it just goes to show the difference we were talking earlier on about the skill set of the wingers, and to have the winger catch that and to not lose her control was much needed from Cambridge in that situation.
So Nottingham Hoods looking to attack and looking to try and get back in front. Haven't really seen them in the Cambridge half for quite some time. Turnover in possession, and Cambridge with just over 10 minutes to go. Well, we're looking to try and use a bit of the momentum that they got from the first half and try and utilise it in the second. Driving over halfway. Nice bursting run through the middle. Jones involved. Here she is again. Samuel Missing picks it up and looking to drive forward once again. Oh, just that pass, waiting for Matthew Maynard to pick it up. Just wasn't quite right. Samuel Missing almost just frustrated with that final pass, and Hoods can start from the back once again. I know a mistake from them, and Hornets looking to try and get in.
We've seen with Cambridge, Cat Jones there through the middle, a bit like Nottingham, how Nottingham used Sadie, you know, to attack through the middle and then give the guys a chance to spread the play a little bit further wide. It's a great option to have.
Jones looking to try and go through the middle. Sandlett laying it off to Matty Maynard, diving for the line, but stopped. And 10 minutes remaining, 2 apiece.
Said about 20 minutes ago, I wouldn't be surprised if this was going to go to a drop-off. I'm even less surprised now.
Yeah, it's certainly tight and tense. Looking to go wide, space, and as easy as you like. And as soon as we mention that drop-off, it's the Hornets who are now back in front, coming from 2-1 down, and they've had long spells of possession.
Yeah, that's made there by some great awareness from Maynard, because Ryan Atwood didn't make the touch on him, admitted that he hadn't made the touch, and it looked like he was putting the ball down, but kept control of it the very last second and had the awareness to then go and exploit the space that was out there on the right. So a lovely bit of skill and awareness.
Yeah, it certainly was, as the Hoods looking to respond straight away. Opted to go through the middle. Can they exploit any opening? Oh, an important touch by Berman. Will Lupton was looking to drive through, and here he is. He got that winning try in the group game when they met yesterday. Oh, no turnover possession. Berman with a fantastic bit of individual defence, and now they look to try and drive on again.
That's a penalty for a hard touch there on Missing.
Missing looking to force initiative and looking to make up the yards. A 2-point advantage, and that'll be almost too much for the Hoods to catch in what has been a really close game. And here is Maynard back inside to Jones, looking to go right, then opts to go left, looking to drive through. And a touch. And it was good play by Jones, although good defensive work by the Nottingham Hoods. Oh, a loose pass. He looked to just sort of weave his way through and then had to get side on. And a forced pass, and it ends up being a turnover back to the Nottingham Hoods.
Wasted opportunity here for that was for Cambridge. You know, the one touchdown, you know, you don't want it to be that, you know, you're still leaving a lot of things open to chance.
Hoods coming forward over the 10-metre. Looking to drive left and right, back inside. Looking to make up the yards, heading towards goal line, looking to go wide. Good defensive work once again. Lucy Norburn, once again, proving a decisive factor. And looking to come forward once again. Oh, nice move inside, and here comes Maynard, picked up by Missing, looking to drive forward. Oh, Maynard just couldn't cling on to it.
Sam Missing's trying to say that the ball was played at in that. That's one of those ones where if the ball gets passed back and it happens to hit a Nottingham player and it goes to ground, then it's a loss of control. If the Nottingham player had played at it, this is really then it would have been a fresh set of 6. Now, Cambridge, as it happens now, have got that, and it was you can see the little bit of discussion between Missing. But again, we're seeing his ability to accelerate through the gap and through the middle to put Nottingham under pressure. And what's also impressive, as much as their attacking is really good, their defending is really good as well, because they're forcing the mistakes out of Nottingham as well.
And here we have Cambridge once again. Berman trying to weave his way through, looking for an angle. Goes over Missing's head and Maynard's head and finds Samuel Missing. And a chance now, another chance for Cambridge.
See what they're looking to see. See Missing all of a sudden has gone over to the right. Now you can see all of the Nottingham, see 4 Nottingham defenders in the space of 15 metres. Touch pitch is 50 metres wide, so there's 30 metres wide, so there's plenty of chance to create the space. And that's what they've done. That's great manipulation there from Cambridge. They pulled all the defenders right to Cambridge's right. Then they feint to go left, and then all of a sudden they've gone right again. And that's created the that's created the score. Very good score there by Cambridge. Very patient. Said earlier on they're trying to force it. That's what happens when you stay patient.
And Cambridge now with a 2-point advantage with 5 minutes to go on the clock. Nottingham's looking to respond. Need to get a score on the board quickly to get back into this one. And they've not seen much of the ball, to be brutally honest, Nottingham in this second half.
Part of that's down to their own mistakes, though. You know, their ball retention has been far from optimal.
Yeah, there's been lots of mistakes in their own half, hasn't there? I don't like to try and pile it on, but there has been a few mistakes from the Hoods, which is you know, been their let down. But now potentially back into this.
Will Lupton was the difference maker in the game yesterday, in the pool game yesterday, and that time it's the defender Bradley Murphy who was offside there, and Will's aware enough to attack him and go over for the score regardless of whether the touch was made or not, because he was offside.
So Cambridge still in the lead, but only that 1 point separating the two sides. Can they restore that 2 points advantage? And they're looking to try and do so. Maynard back into missing. Maynard receives it once again, looking to go inside. Can he find support? Looking for an option. Ball just thrown in the air. Oh, just in the nick of time. That defensive touch, and no score, and Hoods can start once again over their own 10-metre, looking to build into the middle. Just a bit of a fumble, and I think his heart skipped a beat there.
Yeah, the last thing Matt Hall would have wanted to do was to drop it in that situation. As say, with 3 minutes to play, they really, I mean, they do need a score, obviously, but they don't want to turn it over there to give themselves a mountain of 2 to climb, because I think that would be insurmountable at this stage.
And looking to go on Hoods, a brilliant touch from Samuel Missing, diving, and gets that critical touch as the Hoods looking to get over the line. And now it's in Cambridge's hands in their own half. Jones back inside and finds Ollie Maynard. Sandler Missing, running onto it with speed and power, looking to drive on. As Martin Maynard is, experienced Glenn Jones. Lovely build-up. This is good momentum building from Cambridge. Maynard back into Jones. Quick passing. Lovely stuff. Can they finish it off? Oh, just at the glory moment, they couldn't take it.
That was a real shame there for Cambridge. That would have sealed it with just over 2 minutes to play. But as you say, lovely bit of play. And you know, the Nottingham, I mean, second touch there. They've got to go another 45 metres to score. Third touch, they haven't even crossed halfway. So this is great defending from Cambridge.
Yeah, good pressure on these Hoods players. And Nottingham Hoods having to use all their touches wisely. Look to coincide on just the agonisingly seeing the ball go across him. And that's an opportunity that passes them by. And Cambridge now looking to start just in front of their own touchline. Looking to go left and right. Still deep in their own half. Good pressure from the Hoods defence, making it hard for Cambridge to get out of their own half. Missing picks it up. Can he drive on? Here's Norburn. Jones picking it up. Now over the halfway line to Maynard. Maynard gets it down. Picked up by Missing once again.
And there you go. I mean, that's what happens when you defend so well and you force touches inside the opposition half. So second touch coming up, and they're only just crossing halfway. All of a sudden now Nottingham have got 4 touches in the Cambridge half to do something with. If you've only got 1 or 2 touches, that really, really limits your options. And they've still got another 2 now, midway inside the Cambridge half. So 5th touch coming. Now's the chance for them to try and do something. And that's going to be given. That is a great, with 45 seconds to play, looks like we're heading into a drop-off. That's a great finish there from Matt Hall. That's a fantastic finish. Stops on a dime, changes direction, and dives over. That pitch looks lush. It is lush. It's still slippy as. And to keep that traction there and not end up on his backside, you know, that's a great bit of skill from the men's 40s captain.
Well, only seconds remaining. Jones in the centre. Can Cambridge win it at the death? Here's Matty Maynard. Push back. Only seconds away from this Claxon. Maynard, Samuel missing. There is the Claxon. Oh, and there is the touch.
Oh, no, we've got a penalty.
Oh,
penalty for offside. Game just can't end on a penalty. So if there's a touch made here, if I'm Cambridge, I'm just going to go for a bit of barbars, bit of Hail Mary stuff and see what happens. Ball hits the deck, and we're going into our first drop-off of the day, Bradley.
It certainly is. We didn't have any drop-offs on the stream in Banbury, so this is our first one in the Elite National Touch Series. And I am very, very excited. So, Chris, just for the viewers at home, can you just sort of describe what actually happens in the drop-off?
So it's extra time, and where both teams will now lose a player, so they will more than likely opt to choose a female player, and they will have 2 minutes with 5 aside, and then if the scores are still level after that, you then lose another player and you go to 4 aside. Then if the score's still level 2 minutes after that, then we go to 3 aside, and then we carry on till somebody wins. What you also have is a little bit NFL style. Is that if the first team scores after the tap-off, so we go back to how the tap-off was at the start of the first half, and if the first team scores, then the second team will then have a chance to respond, and if they score in their set of 6, then we go back to the first team. At which point, and we keep going until somebody scores and somebody doesn't, or if the first team doesn't score in their set of 6, so Nottingham are going to tap off. So if they don't score and then Cambridge score, that's it, game over. We all go and grab a cup of tea.
Well, strap yourselves in. Get you a cup of tea before this one. This is going to be exciting stuff. What a start to the morning. The Elite Cup quarter-final, Nottingham Hoods and Cambridge Hornets. It's 4 apiece. And we are going to our first drop-off. And off we go, Nottingham Hoods looking to come forward.
So we see Cambridge have stacked up their midfield with their young players. And the same thing's gone for Nottingham. They've stacked them both with young guys.
Looking to work out wide. And good defence once again. Norburn's been absolutely brilliant on that wing, stopping everything that's coming through. And a pass that wide, just fumbled. It was a fizzed-in pass. It would have been a great take.
So if Cambridge score now, then it's it, game over. Now if Cambridge don't score, then Nottingham scored, then it's game over. So basically, next score wins.
Winner takes all then. And off they go. Maynard going through the middle. Finds missing. Back to the Oliver Maynard this time.
Mamma mia, here we go again through the middle. As Sam Missing makes the break this time.
And there it is.
No, it's not.
No.
That's the half. It's the half is so Missing's gone through. And that's a half on the court. That's a fantastic touch. I think has Will Lupton lost his base layer? I think he has. Shows that it's heating up massively on the field.
Well, a critical touch at the end, and here come Nottingham Hoods now, driving on, getting over to that far side, being on a fresh face. Over the halfway they come. Opted to go inside, straight through the middle, building up a nice bit of momentum now, driving on. Can he find the support? Oh, and the opportunity goes begging. And now Cambridge.
So that's 2 minutes. 2 minutes gone. As you can see, referee Kevin Hills waved them off. So Lucy Norburn's come off. Cambridge have opted for 3 guys and 1 girl. And then the next time that the player goes off, it'll have to be a guy. So you have to have a girl on the field, a lady on the field at all times from now on.
Berman now through the middle. Glenn Jones, the experienced Jones, Driving on, here's Berman again, finds Sandler. And looking out wide. Anna Goddard is over on that far side. Jones looking to burst from the middle over to this near side. Touch again. Berman. On a turnover. And now Hoods have the chance.
We've already got some interested spectators. BBR have come across from their game. And they're looking to see, I think they play the winner of this game, I think. I'll have to have a quick check. But regardless, I think everybody's wanting to see this one because it's really turned into, as we saw yesterday, one of the games of the, it's one of the contests of the weekend.
It certainly is. It's been a real battle between these two over the course of these 2 days. Only a point separated them yesterday. And at the moment, we're still trying to find a winner.
Yeah, yesterday was a proper shootout. 10-10, really decided late on with an interception. This one a lot more cagey, but no less skillful. And another 2 minutes gone. It's an unofficial clock up in the corner, but 2 minutes gone and you're down to 3. Blimey, Bradley, this is fantastic tension first thing on a Sunday morning. Who needs that cup of coffee I was promising you 15 minutes ago?
Absolutely, this has given me every amount of energy and buzz. It's been absolutely a superb start to the morning here in Manchester. This is what touch rugby is all about, the drama and the intensity. It's absolutely riveting and engaging stuff. And here come Nottingham Hoods over on that far side, so 3 players apiece. And like you said, Chris, obviously, Warren has to be involved in each team at any one point, and here they come.
This is where the conditions are really going to play a part. We're talking about this, the wet grass. Is that one slip now is absolutely crucial.
Looking to go wide, Hoods.
Cambridge are going to say, that that's forward. But the referee, you saw Kevin in the middle, Kevin Hill, middle line referee, he knew perfect. He said that the hands were going backwards, that pass goes on, and a fantastic way to finish the game off for the Nottingham Hoods.
Certainly, well, we have our first victor of the day. Nottingham Hoods claiming it in the drop-off. We got down to 3 players a team, and it was the team from Nottingham who overcome Cambridge in our first game of the day in the Elite quarter-final. And we now move on to our second game of the day. Let's just take breath, have a minute break, and this is our second Elite Cup quarter-final. CSSC London taking on Exeter Raptors. Don't go anywhere.
It's a huge honour to get 50 caps. It's a surprise to get my first one, so to get 50, a really special occasion. Yeah, first game was Home Nations in Dublin, and I think we were playing Ireland. I'd only been playing touch for a couple of years, was really surprised to get that call up. Hadn't even met half the team, and yeah, we came out with a win that day, so it's really good. I think the whole England setup has got so much more professional, so I was a bit lucky to get that first cap. Every year really had to work for it, and you can see how the game has developed in England and how England Touch have developed their plans for all these international tournaments.
I play touch because I love the sport. I love particularly playing as part of a team. I play with several teams, my club CSSC, regionals and the England's 27s, and I love every team for different regions, and I love working specifically for a team. It gets the best out of me. I get the best feeling for it. I love working hard to develop others so that we can all get the best out of it, and it's just the most amazing feeling.
something you can do at the end, and when you get down to 3 on 3, and it's just everybody's getting it, but get that confidence.
So here we go, the second Elite Cup quarter-final of the day here in Manchester, the Belief Elite National Touch Series, round 2. And what a start to the morning we've already had. And now we see CSSC London taking on Exeter Raptors. And it is the Londoners who look to try and get the early breakthrough pass out to wide. And is it down? And it looks like it potentially could be the first try of the morning for CSSC. So CSSC London are up and away, the first try of the morning, and I'm delighted to say that I am joined by Dan Powell from the Nottingham Hoods. What a start to the morning, Dan.
Morning. Yeah, bit tired now after that game, but yeah, really buzzing to get that win. That was an awesome performance by the boys and girls out there.
And as we move on to our second quarter-final of the day, CSSC London taking on Exeter Raptors, both sides. Obviously putting in good performances yesterday. Exeter, a relatively new side, of course.
Yeah, they're new this year. I think they've come from the university series and got some really good players, really good fast physical players. So I'm expecting this to be a really fast match. CSSC are a team that always run hard and stay in the grind, so it should be a fast physical match.
It certainly should be. CSSC, of course, got to the Elite Cup final in Banbury as they were beaten by BBR, and will look to go one better this time around. Exeter looking to burst through, and it's Horatio Price driving forward, and a reply from Exeter. And what a lung bursting that was from Price.
Yeah, just got through the middles there. CSSC caught a little bit flat-footed, and yeah, put the gas on.
Certainly did, and we are one apiece after the opening couple of minutes. And is there going to be much to separate these two, as we saw in the opening match of the day? It's involved in two absolute tight classics with at the start yesterday when you took on Cambridge. It was a close game, and then a close game this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't here yesterday, but yeah, fantastic from fantastic both games. We seem to be playing a lot of games against Cambridge. I think that's the 4th time we've now played them in 2 tournaments, and we always run hard against them. They always go well with us. We're local rivals, a bit of a rival growing there, and yeah, there's really good sort of camaraderie between the two teams.
Oh, that's good. It's certainly provided us with 2 really entertaining games over the weekend, and I'm sure from your point of view, 2 good wins of course as well.
Yeah, very happy.
And as Exeter Raptors looking to start from the back, although turnover in possession, and a chance for CSSC now to drive forward and try and see if they can force an opportunity. Here's Hall looking to drive on. Dyer was just behind him. Hall looking over to that far side, having to just cut back and into the middle. Slough is also involved there. Claire Waddle in the middle and looking to go. Kate Mackay's out there as well. Colin Scott's involved in the middle. Mackay just to the right. Claire Waddle as well. And just a bit of almost a standoff going on there. Scott trying to burst the ball through. Oh, and what a take, and now CSSC are back in front.
Yeah, very good hole hit by the Link there. The set up a static play there. Link hit and execute the forehand feeder really well there.
Well, what a start to this first half. CSSC back in front over Exeter Raptors, and how will the Raptors respond? Charlie Thompson in the thick of things once again. Here's Pizu back to Thompson, looking to drive forward. Now over to this near side. Oh, there was a 2-on-2 opportunity. Arbuthnot was there.
Yeah, Exeter doing a really good job here of spreading CSSC, getting them to run the length of the side of the pitch, and it's what you need to do to beat a team like CSSC is get them moving.
Certainly, as the ball spread over to that far side. No point on this occasion. 6 minutes gone. CSSC still leading, only 2 points to 1. Although opportunity here, Thompson into Pizu, looking to drive on, looking to go out wide. Good take and a good score.
That was an absolutely fantastic score there. Really good ball skills, and great ball by the number 10 there.
Well, we saw yesterday with the rain coming down, it was really hard for some of the players to actually sort of catch onto the ball and get a good grip of it. It was almost, the phrase that was being bandied around was the balls were like a bar of soap yesterday, which made it really difficult for some of the wingers to actually claim the ball. But what's the conditions like there? Obviously, it's still a bit of moisture, obviously, in the air, and the ground's a bit damp, but is it, I know obviously you weren't here, but is compared to what your teammates were saying, was it a bit easier this morning?
Yeah, it was okay this morning actually. I was expecting it to be greasier than it actually is. The ball wasn't too bad after the first few minutes. It's a little bit it's a little bit soft underfoot, as you'd expect, but the ground's not actually that wet. So the conditions out there were pretty good, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we had plenty of rain yesterday, but not much overnight, which I think has helped things quite a bit. And a low pass just couldn't be picked up by Andrew Dyer. And a turnover in play. And just a reminder, if you were watching yesterday, you might notice that we've actually changed pitches. The pitch number 1 yesterday was turned into a bit of a bog after a while. And so we took the decision to change pitches, and this one has apparently been seeded only recently, so a bit more tougher underground. And here they come, Exeter Raptors. Good pick up and diving for the line. And no points.
Yeah, good touch there by Evan Michaels. He's a very good defender, and yeah, takes a lot to get past him.
And so looking to drive forward. What a run this is from Hall, but a diving touch, stopping him from going any further. And we start once again. Here's Waddle. Nice pickup. Now with Henry Stratford, he was in the studio a couple of times yesterday, giving his insights, and here's Stratford going into the goal area. Good pass lay-off. Looked like a crucial touch just before he got down.
Yeah, that was a good touch. I think the half could have held that a little bit longer there. I don't think he needed to give that ball.
And at the moment, 2 apiece. And here comes Stratford looking to go out wide, bit of space and time, but just behind her, and it just allowed the touch to come in.
Yeah, well covered by the Exeter winger there.
It certainly was, as they look to start going back once again. Here's Pease just laying it off. Oh, and a mistake at the back, and a real opportunity for CSSC now with 6 fresh touches. And these are the moments you'd like to try and capitalise on.
Yeah, absolutely. CSSC will be hoping to get another score off of this one. So, fresh set given away there.
Just sort of taking their time over this one. Here's Waddle. And laying it off. Colin Scott in the middle. Scott, and now over to that far side. Stratford laying it back in. Waddle. Oh, and a good interception.
Oh, it's a costly mistake there from CSSC. They should have taken their time a little bit there and just taken a touch rather than giving away what was a full set.
And here come Exeter over halfway, just slowing things down a tad. Horatio Price just having a chat with the referee and having to bring it all the way back. Got Max and Alex DeCornu, of course, involved for the Raptors today, as they were yesterday. Here comes Max driving through. Oh, was that just a critical touch? The pass was poor anyway. Henry Stratford diving for the legs of Max DeCornu.
Yeah, touch pass given there.
And a critical touch just before the line, and CSSC can start again. Henry Stratford looking to go left. Nicely picked up by Waddle. Still deep in their own half. Nice little layoff pass. And just building up nicely.
Yeah, CSSC are doing a really good job of looking after the ball here. I don't think they've given away any sets in their own half, and that's what makes them a very good team. They're composed, they're calm, and they rarely give the ball away in a dangerous position, and that's what allows them to stay in games and get over the top of you.
Opportunity here for CSSC, Hall and Southgate. All involved, looking to drive forward. All picking up, trying to be forced back, and a turnover possession. Exeter can now start once again. Max DeCornu driving on.
Yeah, CSSC have again given away the ball on first touch. I think it was again there. That's twice in a row they've had a line attack set and lost the ball on first touch. And Exeter are sitting back and allowing CSSC time on the ball on their line as well. So they're not being rushed into making decisions. So yeah, they do well to just take a few steps back, bring Exeter off the line, and use their six.
Well, Exeter in possession deep into the CSSC half. Horatio Price just laying it off. Thompson, just fumbled. And turnover in possession, and now the London club can drive on. All involved, and now it's Nicholas Southgate over halfway. And a loose pass, a bit of miscommunication and timing, and now the turnover in favour of Exeter over the halfway, and Horatio Price now picks it up. Looking to drive on. Thompson, Price building up good yardage at the moment. Exeter, Price and Will Tyrrell linking up in the middle. Tyrrell looking to drive on. Price picking it up once again, a little hop, skip and a jump, and just that layoff was loose, and now back into the hands of CSSC in their own half. Colin Scott involved. Here is Scott. Henry Stratford just slowly moving up the field.
Yeah, CSSC moving the ball around really nicely here, drawing a defender, giving the ball and making really good yards off of it.
A nice steady flow to the game of CSSC. And here's Stratford, here's Dyer diving forward.
Yeah, well defended by Exeter there. They read the switch well and stayed calm.
Just brought into the goal line, and that is the touch, and CSSC back in front.
Made that look so easy.
He certainly did. It was just a clever piece of play, and Thompson and Horatio Price heads down, just thinking, what have we done? As they went through, and CSSC are back in front.
Yeah, Exeter will be really annoyed about that one. I think they did a really good job of defending that set, and then on fifth to give away an easy score, they'll be disappointed with themselves on that. Let's see whether they can make something off of their tap off here.
Brooke involved, and David Shallis as well. Shallis trying to find Brooke, just clings on with it with his right hand, almost hooks the ball around, and Shallis is there. Price to the left, but here is Brooke. Change of caps, I believe, for Brooke today. And looking to go to this near side now on a turnover. Good defensive work from CSSC.
Yeah, much doing there. Exeter not doing enough to create an overlap on CSSC, and CSSC able to defend man on there.
Ball. And Waddle in the middle hall, picking it up again. Looking to drive on, finds Waddle again. She's being forced back, but good, patient, quick build-up play from CSSC, but now back in the hands of Exeter. Pizzo driving on over the 10-metre, making up some significant yards towards the halfway line. Oh, good pass inside, lovely build-up play. This is from Exeter. And a bit of space in the middle. Next to corner, and now Alex. Oh, just a good grab there, just to hold on, and a fumble from Horatio Price, and it looked really nice up until that point. And turnover possession back in favour of CSSC.
Slight loss of control there. So yeah, it's a enforced error there. CSSC won't be happy with that one. See what Exeter can do with fresh set of 6.
And the O2 involved now for the Raptors. Alex Ducornu driving forward, picked up by Price now with Max Ducornu now. Oh, looked to find Price, but went in himself.
No touch there. The CSSC middle has been honest and claimed that and admitted he didn't make that touch. That was yeah, just nice little show and dive there by the Exeter player. That was
Yeah, nicely done by Max Ducornu, and we're back all square at 3 apiece. Andrew Dyer on the halfway. Dyer, Lewis Lau now. Looks to go left, and does go left, trying to drive forward. Touch
recovery there by the Exeter link.
Trying to go forward. There's Hall into the middle. There's Lau now. Looks to go left and right. Puts it down. Can he find support? Oh, was it grounded?
Oh no, looked like ball down there. That was yeah, that was a nice pickup by Evan there.
The Raptors now the chance to build. Sophie Arthur not involved here, over halfway. Emily Bayliss also involved as well. Chalice. Horatio Price. And the O2's now on as well. And there is the O2 now. Horatio Price looking to go wide. Oh, what a brilliant take!
Fantastic take by that winger there. Really, yeah, spare the blushes of the link, who I don't think should have been getting his hands up to take that. But yeah, fantastic take by the winger.
Unbelievable stuff. Katya being the deflection. It was off Brooke, who tried to claim it himself, and it just raised the ball even higher. And what an unbelievable take from Katya Bing for Exeter. And they are now in front after being 3-2 down, going into the final 90 seconds of the half. And it's a game that's just changed and swung one way, then the next. Southgate involved here, over the head of Southgate. Here's Stratford just taking a couple of steps back and assessing his options, looking to go right, and does, and just slows things down going into the final minute. Here's Claire Waddle looking to go over to that far side and building up a bit of attack now. Here is Stratford looking to go in himself.
Yeah, really good move there. They set for an ML there and went back the other way and hit the link on the out, and yeah, caught the Exeter link flat-footed. I'm not sure he was even onside. That was a really good move from CSSC.
So it looks like we could be going into the break all square at 4 apiece, under 30 seconds remaining
Yeah, CSSC will be happy to be level at half time. I think they've been a little bit sloppy in the first half. Their line attack just needs to. I think they'll be looking forward to half time to recompose, regather, and reset for the second half.
So just waiting for that. With the sound of the klaxon, and there it goes. Final phase of play. And there is the touch, and that is the half-time whistle. And there's nothing to separate Exeter Raptors and CSSC London. It's 4 apiece at the break in the Elite Cup quarter-final. And we'll be back for the second half very shortly.
A 3-man drive is an attacking play which we use to gain momentum. The 3-man drive includes 3 players, a half, the person who dumps the ball, and the runner. These 3 players will alternate between themselves in order to create each person's role within that 3-man drive. So it'll start with a roll ball. The half will then pass the ball off the deck to the first runner. This first runner will then become the person who dumps the ball, initiating the touch on the defender, for then the person who previously dumped the ball to become the half. A 4-man drive is a 3-man drive, but with another person. The 4-man drive can also be referred to as arrows, and what we're looking to do is the exact same principle as a 3-man drive, but just to add a secondary option of the runner. So you've got 1 runner on the left, 1 runner on the right, and the half will wrap around whichever way they pass the ball, becoming the runner. The best way to complete a 4-man drive or an arrows platform is to hit one side, i.e. to pass the ball to the left, and then to pass the ball to the right, the second runner, and then the left for the third, and so on. A buddy is a 2-man play which we use to create the momentum for a 3- or 4-man drive. A buddy involves the ball being put down, stepped over, the half will then pass back to that same person, and they will run straight into the 3- or 4-man drive.
It's something I didn't think would come, so just happy to be here, and just so blessed, I guess, to do it with such a great group of people in challenging conditions, but doing it at a World Cup's, absolutely stoked. I mean, hopefully it comes across that, just not myself, but the other lads, Menby, Kidden-Povey, Phillips, Silly. We sacrifice a lot of time, a lot of money. It's a lot of early starts, late finishes, a lot of running, a lot of training. We put in a lot, and hopefully, we're getting the results at the moment, and we're still in the jungle. We're still fighting for our spot. From a level of competitiveness point of view, I think we're going from strength to strength. I mean, you look at just our results that we've had so far. I mean, it was only a few months ago that we took on Japan in the men's grade, and we lost 10-4, I think. In fact, we held to a draw, which has put us in contention for the top 4. From a men's point of view, is fantastic. I know our women's are going from strength to strength. Our mix are a really young side, energetic. They took a very experienced Scotland side who won the European Championships. They took it to 1. Arguments that they could have won that game. So I think, particularly the opens grade, we've got great youth coming through. We've got great skill across men's, women's mixed. We're really going from strength to strength. So I don't see that changing anytime soon, and I see us really putting our stamp down on the world tour.
I love playing touch because it's a game where you can play 14-year-olds and 60-year-olds together. You can play men and women, so you could have a daughter and a mum playing together, and it's a really good fun to play.
So welcome back to Manchester, the Belief Elite National Touch Series Round 2. And we're into our second knockout game of the day. The Elite Cup quarter-final, CSSC London taking on Exeter Raptors. At the moment, nothing much to separate them. We're in for another enthralling second half. Are we going to get another drop-off? Our second in 2 games as Raptors get us underway. And looking to drive forward at the first opportunity. Horatio Price involved. Will Tyrrell now picking it up. Sophie Arthur also involved. Here's Thompson. Just back to Arthur, who's come into a more central role now. Laying off to Will Tyrrell. Thompson on an exaggerated pass over to that far side. Horatio Price dinking, weaving, and trying to get through that CSSC defence, but not on this occasion. Horatio Price there with Thompson. Thompson, a big presence in the middle, looking to try and force it out wide. Now they managed to get through. No, not on this occasion.
Yeah, touch pass given there. That was yeah, nice hands there by Exeter.
And here comes Henry Stratford looking to drive on. Almost just trying to run away from all the defenders. It's almost a game of cat and mouse, and Price finally gets the touch. Here's Lewis Lowell making good yardage over halfway. And here comes CSSC. Oh, this is really good build-up play now. All driving on. Can he get through?
Oh, great recovery there by the Exeter mids. That was a fantastic touch.
Yeah, decisive touch as well. So look to try and go through. Horatio Price bursting forward now. Just stops and a few little kicks and managed to drive on. Oh, just couldn't stop himself for a second.
No, no, really good yards. I think Exeter doing the right thing here, and they're looking to run hard. They're looking to run CSSC on their outsides, and they've done a really good job of it so far in this game. And I think that's what's going to get them over the line if they're to go on to win this match.
Chalice now finding Alec Bizou back into the Chalice. Lovely pass from Brooke. Oh, this is really lovely build-up.
Great touch there by Lois. Makes it look very easy.
After all that build-up, it must be so frustrating when that hand agonisingly just touches you before you get to the line.
Yeah, it's the mark of a good defender there. Knows how to get to the line, step off it, and yeah, right place at the right time. It's a skill.
It certainly is. CSSC looking to start again from the back. Dyer laying it off, and now they move the way over to that far side, trying to get a few fresh legs onto the pitch. Trying to switch it up as much as they can. Trying to eat up the yards. And Colin Scott now. To the left of him is Henry Stratford. Here is Stratford trying to burst forward. Scott's to the right, just tried to play a looping pass over.
Oh, that was yeah. The Exeter winger there will be absolutely kicking herself. That was a needless set of 6 to give away.
It certainly was, and now CSSC have the chance to attack this goal line now, and they tried to weave their way through. And not again, and Colin Scott is still in possession for the Londoners, trying to drive his way through. Here's Henry Stratford looking back to Scott. Bit of an angle opening up here, and a dive from Andrew Dyer.
Well defended there from Exeter. Trying to, CSSC looking to set on an ML platform here, where the link hits when the link hits off of a mid dump, and they've done a good job here of picking up from half and going against the grain, and they're using that to good effect. But in that instance, well defended by Exeter.
And so Exeter looking to start from the back over there in 10 metre, looking to try and drive towards halfway on just a loose pass. It was a hard pick up and just goes down, although still in possession. Here's Katia Bing, who scored that brilliant try in the first half. He's involved. Pony 0-2. Next to Cornu. Involved. Max. Here's Horatio Price.
Oh, that was an absolutely fantastic dummy through. I'm not sure whether it's going to be given, but This lad's got some moves, doesn't he?
He certainly does, yeah. He's a bit of a box of tricks. And Exeter just being pushed back and trying to start again. Here's Price and DeCornu now looking to spread it over to this near side. Turnover possession, CSSC looking to drive on. Finn involved, Colin Scott also there, Model involved now, trying to go over halfway, still in possession of the Londoners, trying to force home the advantage. Here's Hall, shimmying left and right, still building up ahead of steam. Claire Waddle still in possession. Good build-up play, good momentum being built, but vital touch once again. 25 minutes gone, still nothing to separate them. No tries as of yet. In the second half, long pass coming, good take. Oh, almost a bit of netball shooting going on, a bit of dummies straight through, but the touch was there. And the turnover possession.
Yeah, another well-defended set by Exeter there. CSSC have had a lot of ball so far in this half, and it remains 4-4.
Yeah, it certainly does. Here is Ratio Price. A few little kick flicks, and Alex DeCornu passes to Matt, and Sophie Arpith not now. Involved with Bayliss as well. Bayliss goes left and goes inside and finds Will Tyrrell. Alec Pizu, Thompson. Will Tyrrell once again, looking to drive on, forces home, pass and play. Here's Tyrrell again, and a great score, and look at the celebration.
That was an absolutely brilliant delayed pass there, and easy as you like for Will there to walk it in. Yeah, great score.
It was just the timing was absolutely perfect on the pass, just waited, and like you said, he just delayed it and waited and waited. It was a really good pass. CSSC looking to bounce back. Lewis Loud driving forward. Here's Henry Stratford. Lucas Southgate is there to pick up the loose ball. Now it's Stratford again. One has been forced back. Southgate looking for options, waiting for the moment to pounce. Here's Andrew Dyer diving for the line with one hand. No tries
given there.
So nearing on 28 minutes gone with 12 remaining. Southgate looking right and left, looking for options, almost just wanting to hug the ball. And
Exeter do a really good job of holding their shape defensively. They're a little bit shy of making touches, I would say, but what they do is a very good job of holding their shape and keeping compact. So there's not much going on the insides. They come up really tight. They're playing a little bit of a pocket, or they're trying to, and they're doing a really good job of it. CSSC are struggling to break that down.
Southgate, Dyer and Stratford all in the middle there, looking to try and force home. Here is Dyer. Is he going to go for one of those dives? Lewis Lau is there and gets it.
Yeah, great score there. Really good finish by Lewis.
And that was a really good build-up. They were patient. This Exeter defence had done really well to hold them out, but they bided their time. Did CSSC, and they're back in this 5 apiece. Are we heading towards another drop-off? It's certainly close and tight and tense. The ball played out to this near side. A really good marauding run. Oh, the crucial touch.
Yeah, saving touch there by Evan. That was good running.
It was Emily Bayliss looking to drive forward, and Bayliss now has it again. Brooke, quick passing over, spread from right to left. Ratio Price trying to burst through. Really good touch. Ratio Price now. Can he inspire his team home? Brooke laying it off to Horatio Price, looking to go right, and the step up from Hall. Long spells of possession for both sides when they have it. Brooke opts to go left. Price looking for Brooke. Oh, and that is a reply from Exeter, and it was patient and it was well executed.
What a fantastic score that was. Hit the ML, and again, nice little delayed pass, and yeah, awesome stuff.
The gap was gaping and they executed it well, and now Exeter find themselves back in front. 6 points to 5. Just under 10 minutes to go then. Claire Waddle. Henry Stratford. It's a drive through the middle. Southgate's to the left. Waddle lays it back off though. Here's Henry Stratford diving for the line. Important touch though from Alec Pizu. Stretches defence, slow passing on this occasion. Claire Waddle bringing it down. Oh, looking to go wide once again.
Pass so good from Chris there that it bamboozled the cameraman. Looks like the score's been given. Great pass there, and
yeah, it was almost, the pass was so quick, struggled to keep up with it in that corner, but we're back to 6 apiece. Over 8.5 minutes left remaining. Horatio Price. Thompson, how do they respond? Will Tyrrell back with Horatio Price. Looking to go left, opts to go right. Thompson. Short, decisive passing between them three at the moment, looking to try and create an option. Weave an angle. Thompson laying it back off. Here's Price driving forwards. And stopped on the line.
Yeah, looked like the correct call from the referee, that one to me. That yeah, I don't think the CSSC player played at that. I think that was more thrown into his face from about a metre away.
There's Lau doing really nicely there. Gets it back. Bit of a terrier as Lewis Lau really makes up the yards every time she's got the ball. And here we go, trying to create an angle. Look to go right. Could still do it, but tries to pop the pass over and loses out Horatio Price, hunting it down and getting the ball back. Tyrrell Thompson lays it back off to Price, still in their own half, looking to try and weave their way up the pitch. And Arthur Bayliss linking up over halfway. Arthur now with Brooke. Chalice making up the yards. Brooke picks it up nicely, driving on. Try and finds Pizu. Oh, just that final pass out wide. But that was a really nice build-up from this near side all the way over to that far side. But turnover in play, back in favour of CSSC, and over 6 minutes remaining. Now we're going to go to another drop-off.
It looks like it could well do. You know, this game really could swing in either direction. It's a really tight game. Both teams are playing well, and both are looking quite dangerous. So interested to see where we go with it.
Yeah, it certainly will. It'll be an interesting final few minutes here in our second Elite Cup quarter-final of the morning. Nothing to drive on Bing. Now Arthur comes onto the field. Bayliss is just behind her, but here's Horatio Price. Long pass over to that far side. And finds Alex DeCorno. Here's Maxson driving in.
Looks like the referees are just deliberating over whether there was a late pass in there. I'm not sure whether the CSSC defender was onside, even making the touch, but yeah, we'll see what the referees have decided.
Long deliberations here. Oh, and the referees have given it, and Exeter are back in front. It was the link-up with Max and Alex, and it was Alex who finished it off. And Exeter Raptors lead by 7 points to 6 with just over 5 minutes remaining. Could that be a pivotal turning point in this quarter-final? Hall looks to try and resurrect things for CSSC as here comes Dyer. Hall playing it inside. Claire Waddle just making up a few yards, just inching their way forward, just taking their time. Here's Hall driving forward, picked up by Dyer, coming through the middle, dive, touch just before the line. Exeter's defence has to be strong now.
Let's see whether they look to run the same move again. Evan hitting the ML. I'm sure he's going to give there. Yeah. Really good tight defending from Exeter there. That was they're doing everything that they need to force CSSC to throw that ball.
And even though Exeter are a new side in the elite competition, they're improving all the time. No touch on this occasion once again. CSSC looking to drive on. Oh, and a dive for the line. Oh, and a poor touch just to prevent that score. 4 minutes remaining.
I like that CSSC are persevering with this ML setup here. They're staying patient and they're staying patient and sticking with the move that they're trying to run, and then looking for the options off of it, depending on what Exeter do defensively. It's just that Exeter's defensive shape is very good, and CSSC are struggling to break that down.
Halfmann and Bayliss linking up really well to get out of a tight situation there. And here comes Thompson with a bit of momentum. Here's Horatio Price, another try now. Could it kill it off? Oh, just that pass to Will Tyrrell was a bit too long. And the opportunity is lost. And CSSC now really need to capitalise on the spells of possession, the long spells of possession that they've had in this game. Here's Lewis Lau, again making up really good space in front of her. And it's Colin Scott running on from Henry Stratford, driving forward, cap comes off. Oh, and just that pass at the critical moment going down. What an opportunity that was for CSSC, and Exeter now have the chance to build an attack of their own from their own half. Horatio Price.
Yeah, they may well rue that one. I'm not sure they're going to get a better opportunity in this game to draw a level. That was unfortunate.
It certainly was. Brooke and Chalice linking up in the middle now. Here is Brooke, red cap on. Here he goes, looking from left to right. Here's Chalice, laying it off to Arthbernot. Back to Bayliss on this wing. She has to come back inside now. Brooke, good pressure from this CSSC defence, really applying it all the time. Brooke coming in, though, to apply pressure of his own. And this game, it almost feels like both sides are giving absolutely everything.
Yeah, CSSC are a team that never give up. They've got a bit of a never say die attitude, and I think that they're not going to give up until the hooter goes here. So let's see what they can do. 2 minutes remaining. Are we going to be heading to another drop off? Here's Lewis Lau in the middle, looking to go right. Colin Scott now, and here over on that far side, chance. Oh wow, that was really good hands there. Looked like the winger took a second or so to gather it in, but great finish, and 7-7.
Well, a minute and a half to go, and we're on our way towards another drop off. These games have been so tight and competitive, and we have another one on our hands, unless there's going to be a final twist in the tail. Max Tukornu, and now driving forward. Here's Alex. Max Tukornu picking it up once again. Paniotu involved. Here's Alex Tukornu back with Max Tukornu. Quick link up between them two. Max, Paniotu driving forwards. Oh, that touch just before the line. Here's Max driving in, looking for support, and going in. Oh, and
very, very good scramble defence from CSSC there.
And under 1 minute to go, and they're holding strong. CSSC, it's going like a swarm. Max Tukornu going through, and another touch, and handed back over, and they survive that storm from the Exeter Raptors. And at the moment, we're heading towards a drop-off.
See what CSSC can do with this last set of 6. I'd imagine they will manage to get a strike dump in the next 20 seconds.
Into the middle, Nicholas Southgate moving on. Is there going to be a late twist? Space to run into. Southgate back inside. Maybe a chance here. Oh.
There we go.
There
Boots
goes
is gone.
Hooter. And there we go. Brings an end to normal time, and we will be going to a drop-off. Well, what drama, what excitement we have on our hands. Don't go anywhere, it's 7 apiece, and we'll find out the winner of our second Elite Cup quarter-final very soon. Don't go anywhere, grab a cup of tea, drop-off coming next.
The Mexican standoff starts when the defensive team make their 5-metre line. The moment one person from the 6 step into that 5-metre line, the whole team then has to move forward until the touch is either imminent or initiated. The Mexican standoff has one other rule where the attacking team, if they enter the 5-metre channel, the defensive team no longer have to walk up. But until then, the defensive team have to move forward until the touch is imminent.
Forward, 44! Gotta stay forward, gotta stay up! Still forward, no pulling back early. Still up, 27, stay up! Stay up! Now drop! Score!
And we're back underway, and here goes the drop-off. Nothing to separate CSSC and Exeter Raptors.
See whether the experience of CSSC or the youth and pace of Exeter will see them through.
So a reminder, we lose a player after every 2 minutes at the moment. We are 5 aside, and here come through the middle, trying to drive forward Nicholas Southgate, looking to get over the line. So first attack here from CSSC. Picked up, looking to try and find some space. Nicholas Southgate again, stopped on the line. Here's Southgate once again, look to come inside. Quick pass off. He's trying to entice these Hoods defenders towards him. And dragged over to this near side.
It's the second penalty given away there by Exeter. Let's see if CSSC can capitalise on it.
Absolutely. And here they go towards the try line, spread over to this near side.
Great score there by Evan.
They certainly do. And a brilliant try. And now, of course, Hoods have the right of reply. But the pressure is on now.
Yeah, this is it. 6 touches to stay in the competition.
What's your mind process going into this? How do you attack something as so tense as this?
You just gotta stay calm and stick to your processes. It helps to have a bit of a plan, to have spent a little bit of time in training to plan for your drop-offs. That's a really disappointing way to end a game. Exeter will be disappointed in that, but it was a fantastic performance by both teams, and CSSC will be happy to have gotten through that game.
Yeah, you're quite right. A poor end for the Hoods to bow out of the Elite Cup, but it is CSSC London who advanced through thanks to the drop-off, our second of the day. and it is the London club who move on to the next stages of the Elite Cup quarter-final. Well, thank you very much, Dan, for joining us in the commentary box.
No problem, my pleasure.
And good luck for your remaining games throughout the day.
Thank you.
And we now move on to our third game of the day. Move into the Premiership now, the Premiership round robin, which is Manchester Chargers taking on Crewe and Nantwich. That will be coming up next.
It's unbelievable. I didn't start playing touch until I was 40, back in 2012. If I was looking back then, I would never look in front of me and think that I would be here 7 years later still playing. It's been a very tough selection process this year. I've been riddled with injury. I got injured last year at the Euros, had to miss a few games, didn't make the final. And I was determined to make sure I made another appearance, because my 50 caps was always in the back of my mind, and it was something I really wanted to achieve. Back in the 2015 World Cup, a lot of my teammates doubted me and didn't think I'd still be here, and a lot of them joked about my age and thought I'd be past it by then, but I'm proof here that you can still keep playing at my age. And I'm not giving in yet. I feel great. I feel that the heat's really helping my aging bones, and there's more life for me yet, so watch this space, because I'm hoping to be back next year at the Euros as well to get some more caps under my belt.
I got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago. Following my wife and both my daughters into it, after they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
In touch, you can have rolling substitutions. The attacking team will use this in their favour in order to get fresh legs onto the pitch. A subbing move will usually take place when a defensive turnover occurs. A subbing move can be anything from a backdoor play or a three-man drive in order to get the space on the field for 3 or 4 fresh players to come onto the pitch. When subbing on, you have to enter in an onside position in what's called the gate. This is the 10-metre channel from both sides of the pitch, and you have to enter onto the pitch and off the pitch through this gate as well.
'75 appearances, Martin. When was your first? Can you remember it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago now, back in Glasgow in 2009, I think, in a Home Nations. I remember it because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Ran onto the pitch, went through an entire tournament, not knowing what I was doing, and eventually got one score to break my duck. So, yeah, it was a long time ago now. Back in 2009, we held open trials, so it was a one-day event in Nottingham, which I turned up to, and having never played touch really in my life before, I was lucky enough to get into the senior mixed team with my wife and start my international career then. Nowadays it's an awful lot different. You need to be experienced, you need to get into a regional setup with the Saxons, you need to play at nationals, and then you need to train all the way through. So it's come on a whole lot. I can see touch growing a lot. It's grown an awful lot in my time. It's been fantastic to see. Where's it going to go next? Well, we're looking to make it more and more professional without actually being professional. And we've got a really professional high performance setup now, and that's reflected in the results and the performances that we're getting. So I'd like to see it growing at a grassroots level, I'd like to see it growing at a regional level, and then maybe we've got the competition which increases the ability of the players coming through to the high performance squads.
So welcome back to Manchester, our third game of the day. And we move on to the Premiership round robin stage. Manchester Chargers taking on Crewe and Nantwich. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined. I'm going to really try hardest to pronounce your surname as correctly as possible. Will Solical, is that?
Sericol, nearly there.
Nearly there. Well, Will, thank you very much for joining us this morning. And how are you? Anyway?
Oh, really good, thanks. Thanks for having me, Brad. It's great to be here and have my first experience of some comms.
Not a problem. And Crewe and Nantwich getting off to the perfect start in the corner. Olivia Harborough going into the corner. All the space in the world to go in there.
Yeah, a little error from the Chargers winger there, but it's early on in the game. I'm sure they'll be able to fix that up as the game continues.
I'm sure they will. And what a start to the game. And Manchester Chargers, we did see them in action. We saw Crewe and Nantwich also in play on our YouTube and Facebook channels here at England Touch. And Manchester Chargers looking to respond straight away through the middle, looking to drive on and looking to try and respond straight away. Oh, an important touch just on the line.
Yeah, good threat from the Chargers there, running hard, running direct, hoping to create some space around the pitch, and they've won themselves a penalty. So let's see what they can do with this repeat set on the line.
Yes, fresh set of 6, and these are always important when you're so close to the opposition's touchline, to try and take advantage of these early on as well, trying to respond to an early setback as well. Moving it from right to left, looking to try go through the middle, a dive for the line. And waiting for the confirmation, it is, and Manchester Chargers respond.
Oh, great score. Really good use of just playing heads up, eyes up, playing what's in front of you. Some nice footwork here just to beat that defender, turn him inside out. And yeah, as you said, great finish.
Well, what a start in the opening couple of stages. One apiece between Crewe and Nantwich and Manchester Chargers. And Crewe and Nantwich looking to try and respond straight away. And looking again for Olivia Harborough, who got the try in the first 30 seconds, but turnover now for the Chargers.
Some great intent from Crewe there, just trying to get forward, trying to spice things up a bit, play some very free-flowing touch. That's a great momentum here from the Chargers. Let's see if they can make the most of it. Greg Cropper drops, don't see that often.
Oh, look at the space out wide, as easy as you like.
Great execution there, lovely, lovely play.
What a start to this game, end to end.
Yeah, really great stuff. Ooh, little shove there. GC, little the COO of England Touch, I should say there. Not sure he'll want to watch that back very often.
Yeah, just catching our eye on the replay there, but it's try still stands, and Manchester Chargers lead by 2 points to 1 in the opening 3 minutes. What a start to this game that we've had so far.
Yeah, very open, as you said, end-to-end stuff, absolutely captivating.
Oliver Holmes in the middle of things, swinging the ball with his right hand, looking to go right and left, jinking a box of tricks, moving his feet, looking to try and create an angle, looking to go through, still holding onto the ball, almost looking to try and do it all himself.
I think he almost sidesteps himself there as well. Let's see what he can get on this one.
Yeah, looking to try and drive forward. Here comes Holmes. Does go right this time, and just couldn't hold on to it. It was a tough one over on that far side. I don't know if the conditions playing a part, although I don't know if we were here yesterday, Will, as well. As you were here.
Yeah, I showed up just as the rain started coming down, so it's perfect timing.
It was pretty biblical yesterday. It was making it really tough for, for the conditions.
I think that being said, some of the touch on display yesterday, despite the conditions, was absolutely phenomenal. You see sort of how far touch in the country's come and the level the standard that people are now playing.
Yeah, it's certainly really impressive to watch. Loads of international players, of course, involved over the weekend and looking to drive forward. Manchester Chargers, not on this occasion, balls switched over.
Chargers looking really good here. They're looking to exploit a lot of the gaps and the space in the Crewe defence. And they're putting, to be fair, causing Crewe a lot of problems when they're getting down to that line. So it'll be interesting to see if Crewe can respond to that and maybe tighten up their D to hold out the Chargers' attacks.
Still early stages and good pressure from this Manchester Chargers defence. And now a turnover and a chance for the Manchester club to maybe force home an initiative and get back level before the 5-minute mark.
Let's see what Chargers can set up here.
Nice build, just slowing it down a bit, just taking the time over this one.
Really looking to build an attack here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Man going around the back.
Oh, just, I think, in the nick of time. It was a good, patient build-up.
As he said, great patient build-up. And he potentially should have gone outside there, but he's unlucky. Chargers still on the attack. Looking for that winger. Oh, that's unlucky.
It certainly is. Just waiting for that winger just to come in, although it just came a tad too late. Well, Will, you saying to me off air that you weren't involved this weekend, but if you, well, how much have you, obviously you've been watching it throughout the day yesterday, who's really taking your eye?
I think sort of the usual suspects. BBR looking very strong as they always do. Some really, really strong mixed players and an absolute sort of plethora of internationals in that team. I've been spending a lot of time with the Wigan team this weekend. I think they're building really nicely into their semi-final, which is on the game after this. Obviously, CSSC made the final at the last comp, and I gather from their sort of bit squeaky bum time against Exeter earlier, but I gather they got through. So, yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens there. And I guess gather the Notts-Cambridge game was also really tight. So I think the semi-finals are really nicely poised for some really, really high-level touch.
Yeah, certainly are. Both of those games going to drop off, so that's how tight they were. Really good games to watch this morning, and this one's also got the same momentum and flow, and it's really exciting, engaging to watch as the Chargers try to drive forward, trying to increase that points tally on the board and looking to go through the middle once again. Good defence though from Crewe and Nantwich, and they turn over in favour of them.
Charging forward, you could say.
First pun of the day. There we go, CNN looking to build from the back, looping pass over to that far side, looking to get a few fresh faces onto the field now.
I think Crewe just need to try and build some momentum. They're struggling to get out of their half at the moment, struggling to give themselves a strike at the line, and that's a very speculative pass from, I think that was Ollie Holmes again. I think for Crewe, needs to go back to the basics, get down to the Chargers scoreline and, yeah, try and put them under a bit of pressure, because at the moment it seems to be all Manchester.
Yeah, it was Olivia Harborough's trying to get on the end of that, but here come the Chargers, moving forward, looking to try and add to that scoreline, going inside, good dive.
And that's an excellent finish. Really, really top store stuff.
It was just before the touch came in as well. Good reactions, claimed it nicely and dived towards the line, seized the opportunity. Brilliant.
Really, really cracking finish. I think Crewe defenders there just a bit wide for me. They tighten up a little bit, those spaces stop appearing, and the only space is really out wide, and then they just force Chargers to throw long rather than giving them easy scores through the middle.
Work to do now for Crewe and Nantwich to come forward over the 10 metre, looking to go through the middle. Here's Holmes looking left and right.
See if they can ignite that blaze again, shall we? Too far out for me here. Need to build momentum. Need to get further, closer to the line to be a real threat. And stop slowing it up. Keep momentum, as I said before. Holmes looking to dictate things here. Try and set up the play he wants. Here he comes. Again, looking to jink. Goes open side. He's in there.
Oh, the space just opened up. And now they're back in it, CNN. And in the blink of an eye, that 2-point gap has been reduced to 1.
Really nice angle there from Holmes. Great change of pace just to kick outside that defender and find that space. And then, yeah, got a game on our hands here, Brad.
We certainly do. 3 points to do in favour of the Manchester Chargers. And again, another really close and tight game. As soon as he thought Manchester Chargers were going to potentially open up the lead, CNN are back straight in this one as the Chargers look to come forward over the 10 metre, looking to try and build up a bit of an attack.
Oh, I don't think that was. I think that's soft, sir. For me, I think he was slipping, he was off balance. I hope he's not too severely hurt there, but I do not think that was a penalty.
Yeah, really holding his back, and not in a good way, holding his lower left back. And
I think he just sort of fell a little bit awkwardly there. And like I said, I think he was already off balance. I don't think the touch had much to do with the injury that he suffered here, but hopefully it's nothing too serious and he's back on the pitch in the next few minutes.
Yeah, wish him a really speedy recovery as he just falls to the ground. And we'll hopefully see him back on the pitch soon. But here come the Manchester Chargers, a fresh set of 6. Can they do anything with it?
See what Cropper and co can coordinate here. See if they can manufacture a really good striking opportunity. Another score. Cropper picks up, goes the short side. He's in the in goal. Can he find a free player? It opens up nicely. And a lovely diving finish there for the Chargers. Really nice from our COO, Greg Cropper. Gets in goal really nicely, turns the defender, and then the patience and the vision to find the open man and just drop her into that hole. Good, lovely score from the Chargers.
And they extend that lead 4-2 now. And it was a Really nicely well worked try, and now Crewe and Nantwich again have it all to do after going 1-0 up inside the opening stages, and now find themselves 2 points down, looking to try and drive forward, although still a bit slow in possession, not that free-flowing play that Manchester have been showing this morning.
No, definitely not. And Crewe just struggling to build any momentum here. A very interesting sort of frog step we've had there with the dive. And I think, yeah, as we said, Crewe just struggling to find their rhythm a bit and struggling to create some opportunities. Speculative long ball out to the winger. It's one-on-one.
Good take, but behind her and put under pressure straight away.
Here we go, Chargers. Let's see if they can show us how it's done, building that momentum from the back. Driving forward over the 10-metre line, coming up to the halfway, bringing some subs on. Let's see if they can get a real good strike at the line off the transition. Ooh, slightly slowing it up there. And here we go, still managed to keep that momentum.
Building really nicely now, aren't they? Getting a nice flow to the game through the middle. Good chance, where's the support?
It's two really good sets from the Chargers to get in goal on both of them and create some really good opportunities. And here we go, they've won themselves a penalty, so another strike at the line. And I'm sure they'll manufacture a scoring opportunity to try and take that lead to 3 points.
I'm sure they'll love to do that as the 12-minute mark approaches. Just slowing things down, almost having a quick chat before seizing the opportunity to go forward, just taking their time.
Lots of time here. Cropper calls out his man. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's probably going to get it here. Onto the dump on the 5-metre. Cropper picks up. He's in goal again. It's like he's got spiders on him. No one wants to touch him. And he stepped out the back.
Wow, did he just lose his bearings there? Greg Cropper, and turnover in possession. It looked like it was, or no, still a chance, obviously, of course.
Oh, some interesting honesty there from RCO. I'm fairly sure he was the acting half when he got touched in the in-goal, so that should have been a turnover. Here we go, let's see what he can get this time. Creates the hole. Oh, and the final pass just not quite there.
He's really instigating things in the middle, isn't he? Just dictating the play for the Chargers. Almost a bit of a linchpin in this side, and here come Crewe and Nantwich building over on that far side.
And here we go, still slowing up, need to get the momentum, need to build and go forward. That's a bit better. Here we go, some more meters on the back of that. And Crewe really charging forward now. Let's see if they can create that opportunity that they've been looking for. A missed touch there, gets in on the back, Holmes to scoop. Ball to the wing, and she's in. That's a wonderful finish by that winger. Really top stuff from Crewe. They've managed to keep the momentum superbly there after what, a bit of a shaky start to that set.
Yeah, that's the first time we've really seen them build up that momentum since the opening 30 seconds, and that was a really nice move from Crewe and Nantwich, and they're well back in this. 4-3, and another great game we've got on our hands, another close and tight game. And how will Chargers respond to that one?
I think it's important for Chargers to keep their heads here. They're clearly in the ascendancy at the moment. I don't think they need to change anything or react poorly to these couple of scores that Crewe have managed to get. Just keep doing what they're doing. Creates 2-on-1 and steps himself again.
Yeah, the pitches, the pitch we had yesterday was turned into a bit of a bog after a while, so we had to switch over to this one for today's play. So we'll be interested to see how the pitch holds up later on. Chargers look to try and go through the middle, wait for the touch, and nice little pass inside, looking to jink the way left and right.
Some great patience shown by the Chargers here. See what they can come up with on fifth touch. No touches remaining. Can they create anything? Throws that ball out to the winger. And nothing going there. Now let's see if Crewe can recreate that last set they had. Managed to get some really good momentum, some really good meters. But here they're just going sideways, made what? Negative gain on that play. Just got to get momentum, got to get forward, and got to get a strike at the Chargers line.
Really trying to push forward.
And looks like an error in the roll ball there, which is just, it's not what they need when they're chasing the game here. Got to be clinical, and that's disappointing from them, giving the Chargers the ball back in a good field position. And on come Cropper and Co again to again try and create something down this Crewe end of the field. Let's see what they can come up with here.
Looking to instigate play once again, those two in the middle. So much time on the ball, looking to try and instigate it once again, and then put the afterburners on, looking to try and drive through. And the Manchester Chargers looking again on the replay. Here we go.
Once again, it's that man, Cropper. Bit of footwork, puts the burners on, a little bit of juggling in the in-goal, and a great finish in the end.
And that lead is once again extended. Every time Crewe Nantwich look like they're just in sight of getting all square, the Chargers extend their lead once again. So under 5 minutes to go until the half-time interval. Can Crewe get one back and reduce the deficit once again? And again, just getting into the flow a bit more, but still a bit static when they get towards the Manchester goal line. And looking to try and force an opening here, though.
That's much better from Crewe. They're actually getting down to the Manchester line and creating some opportunities here and putting the defence under a bit of pressure, which they weren't really doing for that opening sort of 10 minutes. So let's see if they can create something here. Last touch.
Let's drive through. Oh, and there we go.
Well, there we go. Crewe narrowing the gap once again with a very interesting play. Just number 70 here, just puts on the afterburners. I think that's Josh Bendel. Just gets to the in-goal, missed touch from the Chargers, and the winger's free. Lovely put down in the corner, and Crewe very much back in this game. Let's see if they can get a stop here, keep the Chargers out, and stay competitive for the last couple of minutes of this first half.
Yeah, Olivia Harborough getting a second of the morning, and we now have that 1 point gap once again. It's becoming a you score, we score scenario at the moment. Manchester Chargers, can they get back into this again? Time. Oh, but an important touch just before the line.
I think that's Olivia Harborough again. She's absolutely everywhere today. Cropper created a great opportunity, created some space, and a really good defensive read from the winger there to come in, shut that play down, and stop the Chargers in a really, really good position.
And he opts to go inside, looking to try and create some space. Here's Cropper once again, looking to go left, and tries to play the ball out wide. Oh, a good shimmy round, puts it down.
Phenomenal footwork from the winger there. A really, really good finish. Cropper and the winger there creating something out of nothing. She's one-on-one with her man. Really nice step off that left foot to cut back inside into the hole. And Chargers extend their lead to 2 once again.
Absolutely. A piece of individual brilliance over on that far side. A lovely step back inside. And emphatically puts the ball down as well. She really meant that. And Crewe Nantwich looking to respond straight away into the middle. Middle layoff going inside. Trying to drive home the advantage. Here's Ollie Holmes looking to come inside. Looking to drive home. Can they get through?
Good to see Crewe just threatening the Manchester line a bit more. In the early stages of this game, they weren't getting down here, weren't creating anything. And it looks like with Holmes on the field, they're coordinating some attacks. And here he comes. See if he can create something here. Going on the outside. Probably a bit of footwork. Looking for the winger. Great ball. And really well defended by the Chargers. Winger really unlucky for Crewe. Starting to create things, starting to put the Chargers under some pressure. And let's see if they can close that gap again before half-time.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity on that far side, but just that pressure from the Manchester Chargers defence putting off the Crewe Nantwich winger on that far side. And here come Manchester Chargers bursting through over the halfway. Well, what a break this is. Going through and gets it down. And just before the interval, and their lead has extended to 3 points at the crucial time.
And that could be the nail in the coffin for Crewe, I feel. They're threatening, pushing hard for that score just before the Chargers responded. And a bit of a mistake from Holmes in the midfield allows the Chargers one more score. And 3 up with a minute to go to half-time. You feel Crewe need one here to stand a chance of coming back into it second half.
Yeah, what a confidence booster, momentum shift in favour of the Manchester Chargers. Crewe, you can already see that they're desperately trying to get a point on the board before the break, just to reduce that deficit once again to 2. But how important that try could be for the Chargers. There's a sense of urgency in their play from Crewe and Nantwich.
It's good to see. I think Crewe look better when they're on the front foot and they're attacking hard rather than sort of a bit static, as we said earlier. And let's see if they can get an opportunity here. It's Josh Bendel diving for the line. And I think that's a really, really good touch from the Chargers defender there, diving across to stop Bendel getting into that scoring position.
Yeah, just over 10 seconds remaining. Of course, to that klaxon. At the moment, It's the Chargers who are going to be leading in by 7 points to 4, but can Crewe and Nantwich do anything about it? Here's the klaxon, looking to try and break through, and there's the touch, and there is half-time, and the Manchester Chargers are in the ascendancy at the moment, leading by 7 points to 4 at the break over Crewe and Nantwich. Don't go anywhere for the second half.
A touchdown is the only way to score points in touch. A touchdown happens when the ball is grounded with downward pressure on or over the whitewash. The ball can be touched down but needs to be under control, and there needs to be downward pressure. A touchdown is worth 1 point. As there are no conversions in touch, you can score anywhere along the line, and as long as there is downward pressure and it is under control.
We won the gold in Jersey, and scoring the try in the drop-off that won us the gold as well was just one of the best feelings as a team that we could have possibly experienced. Just the experience as a team, it's taken us to so many different places over the last 5 years. We've been to Jersey, we've been to Nottingham, we've been to Swansea, we've been to Coffs, and we're now in Malaysia. So, yeah, what a game, and taken us all over the world to enjoy it. For that, I am forever grateful. I have a very, very supportive family, wife and 2 kids at home, equally family, so parents. Dad's been to Coffs, Dad's been to Malaysia, Mum and Dad have been to Nottingham, have been to Swansea. My wife came down with the boys when we went playing in Nottingham as well. In-laws, yeah, I've got a lot of people I've got to say a lot of thanks to for allowing me the time to come and play this game.
I love playing touch because it's a game where you can play 14-year-olds and 60-year-olds together. You can play men and women, so you could have a daughter and a mum playing together, and it's a really good fun to play.
The penalty is as a result of an act of cheating, be it a forward pass.
Yeah, that's forward there, mate. Forward pass there.
A heavy touch. Rolling the ball forward of the mark that you were touched.
You're gonna be with me. Here's your 5th. That's off the mark.
Being offside.
Yes, 7. You're going to be on the scoreline of the touch. Scoreline! Nope, she's not made it. Okay. Need both feet on the line, please.
And also, disrespecting the referee.
Do you remember your first?
I do. It was a muddy Dublin tournament, 2013 I think, but yeah, the team's come a long way since then. Just the quality of the coaching, the skill level of amongst the players, the whole England setup. I mean, we were kind of a ragtag bunch then, sort of the forgotten team of England, but now, you know, going for a semi-final spot in the World Cup, yeah, come a long way. There's more genuine competition now, as I say. Before, it was kind of who's available, stick your hand up, but now people with a regional setup, you're really competing for these places, so it does feel like you're representing something that actually matters, and the HP setup across the board has come so far. It's really impressive.
So welcome back to Manchester, the second round of the Belief Elite National Touch Series, and we've had 2 fantastic games this morning, and we are halfway through our 3rd game of the morning. Premiership round robin, Manchester Chargers taking on Crewe and Nantwich, and a try just before the break for the Manchester Chargers has put them into a comfortable lead by 7 points to 4. And you feel this is a really important moment now for Crewe and Nantwich. They've got to get the next point.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Crewe need to come out on fire, if you'll pardon the pun. And yeah, they really need to score next because at the moment, Chargers very much in the ascendancy and they're charging away with this game at the minute.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've put in a really good performance. But you do feel Crewe and Nantwich, from compared to the first 10 minutes, it was almost a game of that first half of two halves. In the first 10 minutes, they seemed a bit static, and then they got into it, didn't they?
Oh, definitely. I think half-time almost came at the wrong time for Crewe. They're building and really starting to fire up a little bit. So hopefully they can bring that into the second half. And a chance for the Chargers here. Lovely little flick inside ball and just out of reach there for the man diving on the inside. It's a good start for Crewe, keeping them out, and let's see if they can get down the other end, close that gap, and really make a game of this second half.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they build from the back. Are they going to try and attack through the middle? Are they going to try and eat up the yards as they head towards the 10-metre? This is a bit better from Crewe and Nantwich compared to the first. Over the halfway line, good break. They make up some serious yards into the Chargers half.
Some great meters from Ollie Holmes there, putting his team in a really good position. They just need to keep that go forward, get down to the Chargers line and attack. Bit of a threat here, so let's see what they can create.
Yeah, moving it from right to left. Can they try and spread this Manchester Chargers defence and force an anything? Olivia Harborough on this near side wing. She's already got 2 to her name in the game so far, looking to go wide. Oh, just tried to spread that ball over to that far side, but no one was there to meet it. A good opportunity gone.
Good to see Crewe creating chances early on in this second half, and hopefully if they keep doing that for the rest of the game, they'll be able to close this gap and really put the Chargers under some pressure.
Absolutely.
Interesting call there for the referee. She called it over the mark, but I don't think the player actually released the ball. So as far to the best of my knowledge, he's allowed to retreat back to the mark, and Holmes and co get a shot at the line again. Ollie Holmes on the quickie. Can he get on the line?
A bit of a deliberation between the two referees indicating the touch. Chance now, Harborough and Holmes now linking up here in the middle, looking to go from right to left, still trying to force this opening back inside. Bit of space now to attack.
In behind there, need the half there a bit quicker. Oh, and just a little mistake, and Ollie Holmes not happy with his teammate there. Need some cool heads, the Blaze, if they're going to close the gap on these Chargers.
Really don't want to be losing your cool. You've still got over 17 minutes remaining, so plenty of time. You could see why he was a bit frustrated with that pass. But here come the Chargers, building from the back once again, trying to build a bit of momentum. Here's Cropper involved once again, instigating their play. Look at the flow and look at the rhythm through the middle, looking to try and drive forward. Here they come again. Lovely turn of pace, trying to get over to this near side. Here's Cropper. Look at the space being brought on. Just a loose pass at the critical time.
A good set from the Chargers there, as we said, to turn the ball over, transitioned well with fresh legs on to create an attacking opportunity and leaving the ball down at the Crewe and Nantwich end, which is all you can really ask for. And now can Crewe create something of their own? They're looking to bring some fresh legs on. Bendel, who looked good in the first half on his feet, and he's charging forward here, trying to create something for the Crewe and Nantwich Blaze.
Looking to burst forward and trying to create an opening, going through the middle. This Chargers defence is pretty stubborn. And looking to try and create opportunity, and here we go, Crewe and Nantwich are through. And that is the start they needed in this second half to reduce this gap, and a brilliant turn. And you could just see all those Chargers players over on this near side, only leaving a big gap opening on that far side, and they exploited it well.
As you said, Brad, vital that Crewe scored first in this second half, and I think the Chargers defenders just lost their men a little bit there, creating that space on the far side. And a dream start for Crewe here. Let's see if they can nick another one and really start to turn the pressure up on the Chargers.
Absolutely. How will the Manchester Chargers respond? Normally, they've been pretty good, but this is a different half, and Crewe and Nantwich have started well.
Good flow from the tap-off from the Chargers, getting right down to the Crewe line. I think they may have won themselves a penalty there. The referee's put the whistle to his mouth, but I can't see if he's blown it. Chargers going forward here. There's big space there. And a diving touch from the Crewe and Nantwich defender there. Saves someone else's blushes for them.
Vital touch as they were going through and just building up once again, slowing things down. Looking to order their men around, looking to try and create this opening. Good build up once again. Oh, and just couldn't cling on. And as the gap was opening up, and he saw the opening and just couldn't execute it.
Yeah, a bit of white line fever there possibly, Brad, like you said. Huge holes just opened up, and Chargers there just couldn't quite convert. And here come Crewe. They're charging forward, bringing some fresh legs on. Holmes, who was the instigator of a lot of attack, but may have just lost his cool a second ago. Let's see if they can keep going through. And here goes I think it's... Ooh, she got that down. She looks to be limping. The referee gives the all clear, and the try is given. Crewe creating something out of nothing with Holmes creating the 2-on-1 down that winger. And a great score for, is it Victoria Harborough? Olivia Harborough, sorry, excuse me. And she looks to have hurt herself now. As you can see in the top of our picture there, she's just receiving some medical attention, and we really hope that's not too serious, because she has been absolutely instrumental in finishing some tries for the Crewe and Nantwich, who now only trail the Chargers by 1.
Absolutely, and it was Olivia Harbour's third of the game. She's up there, one of the players of the pitch, I think. Players of the match.
And here comes Cropper again, trying to create something. He turns on the gas, just scythes through a hole, turns the defender inside and out, and a great response from the Chargers. A clutch play from Cropper at a time when they needed him most.
Absolutely, as soon as Crewe and Nantwich looked like they were closing the gap and really putting the pressure on the Chargers, they responded in the best possible way, and that gap has moved back to 2 points with 14 minutes left on the clock.
Big response needed from the Blaze here.
Crewe and Nantwich looking to come forward, building momentum. Bendel now driving forward, a little bit of a side step to the right, trying to weave his way through this Chargers defence. Have been pretty stubborn throughout the game, although Crewe and Nantwich leading actually in the second half. If you only took the second half scoreline, looking to force home an advantage. Can they reduce this gap to only 1 point once again? Here's Bendel again, trying to drive it home on a really good take. Oh, the touch, just that vital touch before the line.
Defence really matching the attack there. Last touch here, Bendel with the footwork, dummies the cut, the trail ball on the inside. They should have an overlap out there if they can use the numbers. Goes to the winger, and unfortunately, not quite the last play they were probably hoping for there.
Yeah, fisting past overhead height. And an opportunity has passed them by, and the Chargers looking to start from the back. But Crewe and Nantwich defence really putting the pressure on this Chargers defence, and have raised their intensity levels in this second half. Going over the halfway, looking to force themselves forward. Over the 10-metre, here's Cropper. Oh, looking to arc his run, and this is a real good chance for the Chargers. Oh, the opportunity goes, and Cropper just smiles and knows that the pass was nowhere near him, and the opportunity has gone by. And now Crewe and Nantwich will look to restart from the back, although good pressure again from this Chargers defence.
A good momentum stopper for the Chargers there, and Crewe looking a little bit unhappy with some of the touches that are coming in, but they're gaining very few metres. They just need to get forward, get up to the other part of the pitch. That's what we always say at my team, the London Scorpions. We always just say, just get down to the other end. And a great opportunity from Holmes here, but the diving touch from Cropper, and he runs him down.
Yeah, he was looking to try and force his way through. He thought he had for a moment. And still, Crewe and Nantwich in possession. Still a chance to try and create something.
And here's Holmes going again. Looks for the footwork. I think that's just some really good defence there. He's come back on a solid angle. He's followed the half. And Holmes shakes his head. He's not happy with that. But he's trying to force the issue. He's trying to create for the Blaze. And that's all you can ask for as it gets down to these closing 12 minutes.
Yeah, Barringham and Holmes in the middle there. Barringham number 10. And Holmes is number 18 as the Chargers look to try and make up some yards and try and build up a bit of momentum as they cross the halfway line, still through the middle. Look at the yards they're making up. Look at the space they're exploiting.
Cropper in there directing traffic as usual. Let's see what he can create. He's put his man in a hole there. And they're in behind the Crewe and Nantwich defence, but Holmes comes up with a big touch.
Oh, just a low pass that Cropper couldn't pick up. It was low to his ankles and just couldn't quite scoop it up and keep the phase going.
Crewe look to be tiring a bit here, but as we said, they've just got to get forward, got to keep momentum, see what Bendel can create as he comes on, hopping and skipping. He's gone round Cropper, couldn't quite beat the second man, and again, it's just slowing that momentum down. And we always say at Scorpions that the momentum is key, and let's see if the Crewe and Nantwich can bring it back. But with that loose pass from Bendel, they just turn the ball over on the Chargers 10-metre line, and Chargers will be looking to get the ball down the other end and create another opportunity, really take the game away from the Blaze.
Yeah, it's just been those crucial moments for Crewe and Nantwich when they looked like they were building something, and then a loose pass or a penalty against them. It's just cost them. They're still in it, but they can't let the Chargers get away from them anymore. Over the 10-metre line they go. The Chargers still in possession.
It's a good defence from Crewe just to keep them at this end of the half and keep them away from the scoreline. But the Chargers on the attack now. Another good defensive touch from that winger. And as last touch comes around, let's see if the Chargers can stretch the Crewe defence back on the inside. And the hole was opening up there, but not quite. And that's a good play from the Chargers to really create an opportunity from a good position on fifth touch there.
Yeah, you could see what they were trying to do, but just wasn't executed, as Crewe and Nantwich will breathe a bit of a sigh of relief and know they can still in touching distance of potentially getting back into this. Only 2 points out of it. Still in their own half though, and work to do as they drive over to that far side and get some fresh legs on the pitch and trying to drive forward. Here's Holmes.
Got to create momentum here, got to get some go forward and really have a strike. That's fifth touch. Big scoop onto the short side, the cut comes. I don't think he had him chasing there, and it's again, one of the principles in defence is don't chase, and in attack you're trying to get the defence to chase, and I think the defence won out there.
Absolutely, Barringham was involved in that final touch, and I think if they're wanting to get anything out of this Crewe and Nantwich, they're going to have to rely on
Chance to put some pressure on the Chargers here. Chance to keep them pretty much in their own half, but Cropper just sides forward, and a great platform laid by the big man. And a good attacking set from the Chargers. They've won themselves a repeat set. Really good opportunity to control the game here and force the issue and take a 3-point lead, hopefully.
Yeah, the Chargers still look like they're full of energy, and Cropper, it almost looks like he could just go on forever. The energy he has.
He has been going on forever, Brad.
And here come Chargers. Oh, what a take that was.
That is phenomenal execution from the Chargers, creating something out of nothing here. Missed touch on the outside into the 3-on-2, and a lovely cutout ball. Winger just couldn't quite read that, didn't know who to take. And yeah, as you said, great finish in the corner from the Chargers, and they take a 3-point lead.
They certainly do, and they look well on their way. You see the smiles in the serves box in the Manchester Chargers area. And Crewe and Nantwich know that they will have to cut out any of those silly mistakes if they want to get back into this. And looking to go into the middle.
Crewe just need to find their flow again, really. That last sort of 10 minutes of the first half, they look threatening, they were playing with intent, lots of momentum. And here they're starting to lose their way a little bit, but looks like they're finding their way back into it with the short runner there, diving at the line. I think that's some really good defence from the Chargers. But good to see Crewe trying to create opportunities, trying to put pressure on this Chargers defence that has been very sturdy for most of this round-robin match.
Absolutely. Crewe and Nantwich look to try and drive forward, and yet again they've stopped. This Chargers defence have been pretty stubborn, haven't they?
Yeah, some really good defence that we've seen from the Chargers, and they've been very good at creating momentum, as we can see here. Just a really simple play, driving down the middle of the field, each hitter trying to attack that same man and create some momentum, and going backwards a little bit here, so they need to find that momentum again to create a strike at the line. Shock, here comes Cropper, here comes the scoop. He's got the Crewe defence at 6s and 7s, and not quite the right option there as the Blaze defenders converged on that hole hitter.
No score on this occasion, but you could just see as soon as Cropper came on, that momentum shift towards the line. And Crewe and Nantwich still have the opportunity from the back, although time is ticking.
Slightly risky play from Josh Bendel there, a bit unnecessary. I think here they've just got to run forward. They've got to remember where they are on the pitch, because at the moment they're not really going anywhere. It's slow, it's lethargic. They've just got to get some go forward.
Absolutely, and here's Olivia Harbour, has been influential for Crewe. It's got 3 to her name. Looking to try and drive forward.
Let's see what Holmes can create here. He's slowing the game down a little bit, picking his option, and here he comes on that short line. Great defensive touch just to slow that roll ball up. He's really good body position there, made it hard for the attacker to roll the ball. And now let's see if Holmes can create that threat that he wants. He goes on the outside of his man, looking for the line, the dive, and I think he's just missed him there.
Yeah,
and Holmes gets over the line.
He certainly does, and if that was anybody they needed to try and get themselves back into this, it was Oliver Holmes. That was the man that they needed.
And I think that's the score close to 9-7 actually. So the Crewe and Nantwich have 6 minutes to force the issue here, get back into the game and chase those charges to see if they can force a draw or a drop off or even steal a win in the last 5 minutes.
Well, there'd be some comeback, wouldn't it? They started the half actually pretty brightly, Crewe and Nantwich, but Chargers just got those couple of tries just to take it away from them. Are you looking to try and extend that 3-point gap once again? Let's see if they can do that. Driving forward, forcing the advantage. Can they dive in?
I think that's a really good defensive touch from what the sideline's calling there. As we saw, a really nice short line from the Chargers, picking the option for that hole in the middle. And after some consideration, the referee's actually awarded the score.
Oh, well, a turnover and a change in the thought process. And the Chargers now restore that advantage. And that'll be a bit of a kick in the teeth, won't it, for these Crewe players?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've just left themselves a little bit too much to do after their slow start in the first half. And I mean, with just over 4 minutes to go and 3 touchdowns to get, it's not climbing Everest, but it's not the most possible task either.
Yeah, 3 points to make up, and that's only just to get back level. Can they get one quickly? 4 minutes remaining. They need one now if they're going to try and get back into this game.
See what Bendel and Fletcher can create here, looking to work together to manipulate the Chargers' defence and create an opportunity for the rest of the team.
Yeah, let's see how they do it. They're just looking to go forward, then back. Here's Bendel looking to try and find his man, and good defence. Once again, just putting the pressure on and not letting anything at all try and get past them.
And can't afford to be slow to get the ball back there. Fletcher's just taking his time, and it's not time that the Blaze don't really have to afford.
Yeah, absolutely, just slowing things down. A really good pass out wide, and a good take. Tried to play back inside. Touch, and it's a turnover. And just what the Chargers would have wanted. Start from their own back line and looking to try and drive themselves at the field. Here's Cropper once again. He always looks to try and go forward.
No real rush for the Chargers here. They don't need to do anything special. With that 3-point lead, they can just leave the ball at the other end, keep going forward, and yeah, put the Blaze under some pressure and say, here you go, here's the ball, you come at us from your try line.
And you can see the swarm of fresh slugs coming on for the Chargers on this near side, looking to drive in on a lovely piece of play, and they're in again. And that's the 11th added to the scoreboard. Let's have another look at the replay on this one. It was substitutes that came flying on, and just that gap opening in the middle, and it was as easy as you like, really, in the end.
Yeah, a great scoop and a great follow line to score in that inside hole. And you have to say, it's not looking good for Crewe and Nantwich with 2.5 minutes to go.
Absolutely is. Manchester Chargers looking well on the way, just over 2 minutes remaining.
Holmes trying to pull out all his box of tricks today, the little round the back there with the ball. But I think it might be too little too late. See if they can create a score here to close that gap.
And I don't think I'm seeing things, but I think I'm seeing a bit of sunshine here in Manchester after the weather we had yesterday.
Brad, I can confirm you're not seeing things. There is actually sunshine in Manchester.
Well, who would have thought it? The weather, the sun is out, and we're seeing some fantastic touch rugby, in particular from the Chargers. But can Crewe get one just before the end? Good defensive work once again.
Chargers looking really strong here. The defence has been a strong point all game. And as you can see from the replay here, the winger straight out onto a man, chases out well, and no space on the out wide for them.
So the Chargers looking to start from the back, obviously from a turnover in possession, as we enter into the closing moments of this Premiership round-robin game. Over the halfway line they go. And here come that swarm of substitutes again. Fresh faces on. Nice little dummy looking to drive forward.
A little mistake in the roll ball from the Chargers there, but I don't think it'll have too much bearing on this game. They've been the team in the ascendancy the whole game. Cropper and the rest of his teammates controlling it really nicely, getting good go forward, getting good momentum, and scoring some really nice tries in the process.
Absolutely, it's been a bit of a clinical performance from the Manchester Chargers. It was Crewe and Nantwich that got off to the perfect start, and Olivia Harbour has been absolutely clinical for CNN and getting 3 to her name. But as we enter into the final 30 seconds, it is the Chargers who are well on their way and looking.
Chance for Chargers to just close the game out, really. Just control it, and a big touch from Ollie Holmes. It's not really going to gain you anything there, pal.
20 seconds remaining. And looking to drive home. Can they add a 12 just before
The klaxon goes. I think they might do here. It's a really good chance. The man sweeping in. There's a hole out there. And some good defence from the Blaze. Couple of seconds remaining then, waiting for that klaxon to go. And there it goes, final phase. And there is that touch. I think we're ending on a penalty here, which means that Chargers have one phase to try and score, and the dive at the line comes, but the touch is in from Holmes. And that will be that.
It certainly will be. That is full time in our third game of the day, and it's the Manchester Chargers who come out on top in this Premiership round robin game against Crewe and Nantwich. It was another really, really good game. Lots of good tries, lots of good play, but it's the Chargers who end up on top. Will, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brad. Up the Scorps.
And now we move on to our next game of the day, and this one should be absolutely brilliant. Elite Cup semi-final, BBR against Wigan Warriors. Do not go anywhere.
I got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago. Following my wife and both my daughters into it, after they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
Touch is made up of 3 positions on the field. You've got a wing, a link and a mid. That is replicated on the other side of the pitch, so you have 2 sets of each.
It's just really grateful to be able to pull the jersey on, 50 plus times now, as of today. We've got a really good team here. It's just very, very proud. Feels good.
How does it compare now to the first time? When was the first time you pulled on a shirt?
First time, well, it was Home Nations 2013. Completely different environment. England Touch has come on leaps and bounds since then. It's just been a great ride.
I play touch because I love the sport. I love particularly playing as part of a team. I play with several teams, my club CSSC, regionals and the England's 27s, and I love every team for different regions, and I love working specifically for a team. It gets the best out of me. I get the best feeling for it. I love working hard to develop others so that we can all get the best out of it, and it's just the most amazing feeling.
Yeah, the right time for a referee to interchange with his sideline buddy is when they're approximately 15, maybe 20 metres from the sideline, and it's at the right time for the play.
I've got you if they come, Ray. All the way back, Link. Link, no. Yeah, Ray, I've got you here, mate. Back to me, middle. To 8, yes. Shoot is good. Third with me here.
Teamwork comprises of many factors for the referees. A lot of it is communication with the players.
Take it back 2 meters, blue, please. 2 meters back. Thank you. Hold here. Yeah, roll, that's fine. Look for me. First is with me. Here it is. 27, 2 meters. Yes, good there. Look at me for second.
The sideline ref's always communicating with the players.
All the way back to the ref now. 9, 9, 1 step. 9 offside. Look for the ref next touch.
And at the appropriate time, we'll communicate with the on-field referee when a critical decision needs to be assisted.
Have a look at the ref at the next touch again. You're just in front of the line. 12, no. Good, 12. All good here, Jonathan.
The development of referees is quite rigorous. There are 5 levels in the fit level system. The entry level is level 1, level 5 is the highest. So to progress from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, there's a theory exam plus a practical assessment. And when you go from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, that has to be done at an elite tournament, like a Nationals tournament or a Euros.
If anything, it's probably more of an honour because of the talent pool. We've gone from kind of playing on parks to playing in decent venues up and down the country, and being able to come out to some amazing venues across the world. So yeah, pulling on the England shirt is fantastic, and you're just happy to still be here after this amount of time. Well, there's loads and loads that have changed. The sheer numbers of players out there now, we've got an incredibly good base. The conditioning is a huge difference. Everybody now in this sort of heat with this sort of pace is feeling comfortable. Everybody's out there eating the vegetables, they've nutrition. We've just become a far more professional side across every age group.
I love playing touch because it's a game where you can play 14-year-olds and 60-year-olds together. You can play men and women, so you could have a daughter and a mum playing together, and it's a really good fun to play.
Touch is a minimum contact sport where the aim is to score more touchdowns than your opposition. Touch team is made up of 6 players on the pitch with up to 8 substitutions. Those 8 substitutions can roll on the pitch at any time. Touch can be made of mixed teams or single gender teams. In a mixed team, there is a minimum of 1 man and a maximum of 3 men on the pitch at any one time. At an international level, touch games are made up of 2 20-minute halves.
Half time, girls.
But at all levels, you can have varying different half lengths and periods of time.